Proud to be the home of the high school football Alabama Scoreboard with John Holder, presented by the City of Oxford.
The high school football Alabama Scoreboard is also brought to you by Young Oil Company Grub Marts, Farmers and Merchants Bank, Regional Medical Center, Anniston Orthopedics Associates, Keller Williams Real Estate Agent Amber Cotton, Pee Wee Turner Motors, Noble Bank and Trust, Oxford Lumber Company, Dad's Barbecue and Top of the River, the Calhoun County Commission, and Triple T Turf.
The high school football Alabama Scoreboard with John Holder, presented by the City of Oxford on 97.5 FM, the Big 95 WHMA, and highschoolfootballalabama.com.
This is the high school football Alabama Scoreboard, presented by the City of Oxford on a football Friday night. John Holder with you all the way until 12 midnight tonight. It is the second round of the Alabama High School Athletic Association State Football Playoffs coming up on tonight's show. Every score in the state of Alabama. We will have the brackets for you. We'll have all the games coming up in the quarterfinal rounds in every class, 1A through 7A, all the local scores as well. We are going to name our Farmers and Merchants Bank Spirit Scholarship winners for the year. We'll have that coming up with some guests with us live in the studio tonight. We've got plenty of special guests. We've got muscle team members. We're going to have new members of that. Player of the week, assistant coach of the week, and a whole lot more. Everything going on in high school football in East Alabama and around the state we will have for you coming up tonight all the way until 12 midnight. We're coming to you tonight live from the RMC Media Center here at Parker Memorial Baptist Church on Quintard Avenue, Midtown Anniston tonight. And let's jump right into all of our local scores tonight as we go to our Oxford Lumber and Ace Hardware scoreboard tonight. Class 3A action, a top 10 matchup at the Field of Champions in Piedmont tonight. Number 4 Piedmont having no trouble with Lauderdale County. The Tigers coming in from Rogersville with a 10-1 record, but Piedmont disposes of Lauderdale County. They led early, and they go on and beat Lauderdale County as they beat the Tigers tonight 31-0 at the Field of Champions in Piedmont. Great performance tonight by the Oxford Yellow Jackets. Oxford only down 6-0 at halftime of this game. That came on a kickoff return by Pinson Valley. Pinson Valley and Oxford, a long history. You recall last year in the quarterfinals, Pinson Valley ended Oxford's season 34-2. Tonight, Oxford returns to Willie Adams Stadium in Pinson, and the same result, Oxford season ending tonight at the hands of Pinson Valley, 20-0 the final. Sax and Oakman, this is now a final. We will have highlights of this game from Jack Stewart Field at Sax tonight, where the Sax Wildcats beat Oakman. Very entertaining game tonight. You'll see a lot of those highlights tonight. Sax moving on to the quarterfinal round of Class 3A as well, as Sax beats Oakman 36-22. Winfield and Ohatchee, this is now a final from up in northwest Alabama in Marion County. Really, Ohatchee just not able to stop Winfield all night. Every time Ohatchee would try to answer and climb back into it, Winfield answered on the other end. Number 3 Winfield moves to 12-0. They've got a monster showdown now coming up with the Piedmont Bulldogs next week. That will be at the Field of Champions in Piedmont. Piedmont over Ohatchee, 56-27 was the final score tonight over in Winfield. Ohatchee's season ends with a very impressive 9-3. Also tonight, this is now a final score, and this will be the shocker that will send shockwaves throughout the state of Alabama tonight in Class 5A. We will have highlights of this game from Lou Scales Stadium at Alexandria. Undefeated Alexandria. They were 11-0 coming into this game. Parker was 10-1. Alexandria dominated early in this game. They led 17-6, but Parker goes on a 35-14 run after that, and Parker beats Alexandria tonight. This will be one of the big upsets in the state. Parker over Alexandria, 41-31 is the final score from out at Death Valley in Alexandria. Also, American Christian in Jacksonville. This score, I think 42-28 is the final. American Christian 42, Jacksonville 28 is the final score tonight in a back-and-forth game down in Tuscaloosa as Jacksonville falls to AHSAA. Class 1A action tonight over in Northwest Alabama. How about the Woodland Bobcats? Woodland came into the playoffs with a 3-7 record, and Woodland beat Meek tonight. 21-14 was the final. Woodland now 5-7, moving on to the quarterfinals of the Class 1A state playoffs. Handley wins tonight. Number 7 team in the state in Class 4A, defending state champion Handley, playing at home at Wright Field in Roanoke. They beat the Bibb County Choctaws tonight 28-14 to move to the Class 4A quarterfinals. Also this evening, Wadley, same score. Another Randolph County team winning by the exact same score at home tonight. 8 versus 9 matchup. Wadley beating Hubbardville 28-14 at Curtis Lynch Memorial Stadium down in Wadley tonight. Great football game in Mobile. We will have Corey LaBounty from Sports Talk 99.5 in Mobile. He was at this game tonight. We'll talk some Gulf Coast football with him later on. It was Faith Academy, Central of Clay County in Mobile tonight. Faith Academy knocks off Clay Central as Clay Central's season ends for the second year in a row in the port city of Mobile. Last year, they lost to eventual state champion St. Paul's in the quarterfinals. Tonight, in the second round, they lose to Faith Academy 40-35. Clay Central was down 19-6 in this game, came back and actually led this game at one point, but it was Faith Academy in the end scoring, and they beat Central of Clay County 40-35 in Mobile to end the volunteer season. Isabella and B.B. Comer playing tonight over in Maplesville. B.B. Comer continues to roll. The Tigers win over the Mustangs 34-25 was the final tonight over in Maplesville as B.B. Comer moves to the Class 2A quarterfinals. Pickens County and Winterboro, this is a final, and this would be another one of those monumental upsets tonight as Winterboro has gone in to reform. They've beaten Pickens County, the team that was in the Super 7 last year at Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa. Number 5 Pickens County falls to Winterboro tonight. Winterboro wins in reform, huge, 38-16. Raglan tonight and Decatur Heritage. Raglan, a kind of the same type of game as Winfield and Ohatchee. Raglan at home at Joan Ford Stadium, hosting Decatur Heritage. Every time Raglan scores, Decatur Heritage answers, and Decatur Heritage wins the game. 55-46 is the final score tonight. Over 100 points scored in that game over at Raglan this evening. Viger making the longest trip maybe ever in regular season play of high school football, at least since the old days when we used to play state championship games on the home field. Since we've gone to the Super 6, Super 7 concept back in '96. Since that time, I don't think we've had anyone travel for a playoff game further than Viger did. Viger coming from Pritchard in Metro Mobile to Center tonight, 337 miles. Viger comes to Center and they beat the Warriors 34-0. Viger, the number 3 team in the state in Class 4A. And Spring Garden tonight, great football game. Spring Garden remains undefeated, 12-0. The number 5 ranked team in the state in Class 2A, playing at home at Panther Stadium. They beat Aliceville this evening. The final score in that game was 40-35. Spring Garden rolls on to take on Mars Hill Bible again. They met in the semifinals last year in Florence. They will play in the quarterfinals this year again up in Florence next Friday night. Let's talk about all the ways you can connect with us here at High School Football Alabama. First, the ways you can watch the show. A couple of ways you can do that on social media. Go to Facebook, High School Football Alabama. Also go to our YouTube channel at High School Football Alabama. Be sure to follow us, like us, share us, subscribe to us on YouTube. You can also check out our website at High School Football Alabama for more information. That's highschoolfootballalabama.com for more information about the show. And of course, you can also listen to the show on the Big 95.3 FM. We'll have one more show coming up next Friday night, but there's going to be content all throughout the week. If you're missing out on our social media pages, especially our Facebook page, our Instagram pages, you are missing out on a lot because we're sharing a lot of high school football information, fresh information every day via social media. One of the ways that you can participate in High School Football Alabama is something we're going to do starting at midnight tonight, running through 12 noon next Friday, November the 19th. Something new. We usually pick our City of Oxford Team of the Week. We picked 11 of those this year, Now you, the High School Football Alabama viewers and listeners out there, you get to pick one of those 11 as our City of Oxford High School Football Alabama Team of the Year, beginning at midnight tonight through noon next Friday, November 19th. Go to our Facebook page at High School Football Alabama, and you will see all of those teams there. You just click on the helmet of the team that you want to vote for. We got the Weaver Bearcats, AHSAA Indians, Gadsden City Titans, Cherokee County Warriors, the Anniston Bulldogs as well, Oxford Yellow Jackets, Cleveland County Tigers, Spring Garden Panthers, Piedmont Bulldogs, Jacksonville Golden Eagles as well. Just a great number of teams, 11 teams that we had this year that were selected as our Team of the Week, and you will now select one of those 11 to be our Team of the Year. We'll announce that next Friday night right here on High School Football Alabama. And we want to talk about the holiday season coming up. It's getting close, folks. We are less than 2 weeks away from Thanksgiving, and then it will be Christmas time, and you want to make Dad's Barbecue and Top of the River a part of your holiday celebrations. And let me just tell you, we're going to talk about tonight both Top of the River and also Dad's Barbecue. We're going to talk about Top of the River tonight. 3 locations to serve you on McClellan Boulevard in North Anniston, on the river on Rainbow Drive in Gadsden, and on the lake in Gunnersville. I'm telling you that they are fantastic. Not only catfish and seafood and steaks, but they can do your Christmas parties. They'll include all those homemade sides. They've got those large banquet rooms out there. Carry out, any size group available for reservation. So if you want to have your family Christmas together, if you want to have your business get together, your corporate party, whatever it is, contact the folks at Top of the River in Anniston, in Gadsden, and in Gunnersville. They will take care of you for your Christmas parties and holiday parties, and also your Thanksgiving needs. They do catering as well. You can get the to-go boxes and things like that. All of your needs during this holiday season, they will take care of you at Top of the River. 3 locations to serve you in Anniston, Gadsden, and on the lake in Gunnersville. More of the High School Football Alabama Scoreboard presented by the City of Oxford as we roll on a playoff football Friday night.
This holiday season, visit Festival of Lights. Chocolaco Park in Oxford, Alabama is transformed into a winter wonderland and is the perfect way to get into the holiday spirit. Open November 20th through December 24th. To get your tickets, visit oxfordlights.com.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver Card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
In Alabama, school spirit is in the air on Friday nights. At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're giving our customers the opportunity to show their school spirit every day with our new Spirit debit card. We've designed a unique card for every Calhoun County school that includes the school's logo. So every time you use the card, you're showing your school spirit. Come in and get your school spirit debit card today. We've got spirit at F&M Bank. Service, solutions, and strength. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
There's a lot to think about when you're having a baby. Colors of the nursery, names, and most importantly, where to deliver.
We want a hospital that gives families a more personalized birthing experience.
With a compassionate team of doctors and nurses, and a hospital where my baby and I can instantly bond with all the comforts of home.
So where do we find all that?
Right here at RMC, the first designated baby-friendly hospital in Alabama.
Anniston Orthopedics continues to provide a legacy of outstanding sports injury care on and off the field, keeping our players in the game. Anniston Orthopedics offers our Saturday morning sports injury clinic from 8 to 10 a.m. throughout the high school football season. Anniston Orthopedics also offers full-service physical therapy and occupational therapy departments. To learn more, visit our website at www.annistonortho.com. Anniston Orthopedics, located in the Tyler Center adjacent to RMC.
I'm John Holder, host of the High School Football Alabama Scoreboard Show. Keller Williams real estate agent Amber Cotton sold my house, and I can tell you she's the best. But don't take just my word for it.
I'm Coach Michael Easley from Mumford High School, and Amber Cotton sold my house.
I'm Coach Clint Smith from Jacksonville High School, and Amber Cotton sold my house.
This is Coach Jonathan Miller of the Sax Wildcats, and Amber Cotton sold my house.
I'm Amber Cotton, and if you're in the market to sell a home in Calhoun County, I would love the privilege of meeting your real estate needs too.
This holiday season, visit Festival of Lights. Chocolaco Park in Oxford, Alabama is transformed into a winter wonderland and is the perfect way to get into the holiday spirit. Open November 20th through December 24th. To get your tickets, visit oxfordlights.com.
WHMA FM, Hobson City, Anniston, Oxford. WKLS HD3, Southside, and W248CE, 97.5 FM, Gadsden.
10 o'clock on the Big 95, also streaming live tonight on Facebook and on YouTube. This is the High School Football Alabama Scoreboard. John Holder, our entire High School Football Alabama hard-working crew tonight, with you all the way until 12 midnight, bringing you all the scores. We got highlights coming up, special guests, a whole lot more as we're with you for the next 2 hours, breaking down the second round of the Alabama High School Athletic Association state playoffs. I always say that in the second round and in the quarterfinals, that's where we see the upsets happen. And we saw some tonight, including right here in East Alabama. Right now, let's go back to our Oxford Lumber and Ace Hardware scoreboard. We got a couple of corrections. Games we gave you as final scores that are not quite final as of yet. Don't think the outcome is in doubt, but they're not final yet. Let's tell you, Piedmont tonight beating Lauderdale County up at the Field of Champions in Piedmont, 31-0. Piedmont hosting Winfield next week at the Field of Champions. Pinson Valley, a 20-0 winner over Oxford, ending the Oxford season down at Pinson. Valiant effort tonight by Oxford, only down 6-0 at halftime. It was only late in the game before Pinson Valley could pull away and put Oxford away. Good showing by the Yellow Jackets tonight down at Willie Adams Stadium. Sax and Oakman, this is a final. Sax has won the game over Oakman 36-22 tonight out at Jack Stewart Field. We will have highlights of that game coming up on the High School Football Alabama scoreboard. Also this evening, Winfield and Ohatchee. Winfield has beaten Ohatchee. Bit of a surprise there. Even though Winfield is 12-0, ranked number 3 in the state in 3A, Ohatchee last year beat them on the Creek Bank almost by the exact same score. 54-27 was the score last year. Winfield gets Ohatchee at home, and they just about reverse it and more as they beat Ohatchee tonight, 56-27. Alexandria and Parker, this is the one that is a shocker not only here in East Alabama, but a shocker around the state. Number 3, Alexandria, suffering their first loss tonight at home at Death Valley. They led at 17-6. We're going to have highlights of this game. Highlights also, as we said, of the Sax and Oakman game. Alexandria had it in control when we left in the second quarter, but A.H. Parker out of Birmingham, the Thundering Herd, comes in, and they beat Alexandria, getting a bit of revenge. Last year in the second round, they played over at Parker in Birmingham, and Alexandria won the game. But tonight, about 365 days later, Alexandria falls to Parker at home, 41-31. American Christian in Jacksonville, this was not a final. 42-28. AHSAA was leading the game, but that was in the fourth quarter. We should have a final score coming up for you just in a moment. Also, it was Woodland beating Meek tonight. Woodland at 5-7, 21-14 winners over Meek. Hanley tonight, winners over Bibb County by a score of 28-14. And also, Wadley beats Hubbardville 28-14. Same score tonight in Class 1A, playing over at Wadley. Also tonight, it was Faith Academy beating Central of Clay County 40-35. Faith Academy wins the game 40-35 over Central of Clay County down in Mobile tonight. We will have a report from that game from Corey LaBounty down at Mobile tonight, where Clay Central season ends 40-35. BB Comer over Isabella tonight, 34-25. The final score in Class 2A action over in Maplesville. Winneboro beat Pickens County 38-16. That is a confirmed final from Reform. Huge win for Winneboro. That will be one of the biggest games and one of the biggest wins in Winneboro history. Actually, we got that reversed now. Pickens County beat Winneboro. Pickens County was a winner over Winneboro. 38-16 was the final, so not a big win for Winneboro. Pickens County wins at 38-16 over Winneboro tonight over in Pickens County at Reform. This is now a final 76-52. Is that right? We'll check on this one. We had 76-52, Ragland over Decatur Heritage. They were down in this game 55-46 And apparently Ragland has scored, and so we'll see what's going on with that one and try to double check on that game between Ragland and Decatur Heritage. Viger over Cherokee County tonight, 34-0 up in Center, and Spring Garden was a winner tonight as Spring Garden beat Aliceville by a score of 40-35. Back on the high school football Alabama scoreboard. Here we're streaming live tonight on Facebook and on YouTube and live on the Big 95.3. Let's talk about our Amber Cotton Carol Williams Real Estate Assistant Coach of the Week for this week. And we've got, appropriately with it being Veterans Day yesterday, Pleasant Valley's Ronnie Preston. He is in his first season back with the Raiders following a 2-year absence for military service. So appropriately, he is our Assistant Coach of the Week, not only doing a great job in leading the Raider defense, where he coordinates the defense and partners with Pleasant Valley head coach Jonathan Nix in directing the Pleasant Valley weight program, but a special salute to Coach Preston, serving the last 2 years away in the United States military, giving his service to us. So a great time on Veterans Day week to recognize our Assistant Coach of the Week, Ronnie Preston of the Pleasant Valley Raiders, our Amber Cotton Carol Williams Real Estate Assistant Coach of the Week for this week. Speaking of Amber Cotton, somebody asked me this week, they said, John, I see that they say on the commercial that runs during your show, and I've heard you talk about Amber Cotton selling your house. Amber Cotton sold your house. And I said, absolutely she did, and she is absolutely the best. Contact her today, 225-1958, YOLOAmber@kw.com. That stands for You Only List Once, Amber@kw.com. Back when she sold my house just a few years ago, the market was not as hot as it is now. It was not a guarantee if you put your house in the market that it would sell, but it sold, and it sold very quickly. After having an experience where it didn't sell for a long time, going in other routes, once it listed with Amber Cotton, very quickly, in a very short amount of time, my house sold and yours will as well. The top real estate agent in East Alabama, no doubt about it, Amber Cotton, Carol Williams Realty Group, 225-1958, YOLOAmber@kw.com. Back with more of the high school football Alabama scoreboard presented by the City of Oxford in just a moment. When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at PeeWeeTurnerMotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
Cash back. Plain and simple. That's what you'll get on the Noble Bank Cash Back account. No tricks, no gimmicky names, just free accounts that pay you cash back. If unlimited transactions, fraud protection, and refunds on ATM withdrawal fees nationwide sounds like your kind of banking, visit us at noblebank.com and learn more about the Noble Cash Back account. Welcome to personal banking. Welcome to Noble Bank and Trust. Noblebank.com. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Jimmy Newman from Oxford Lumber. I've kicked off many times in my football days, and that's an exciting play. When you're ready to kick off your next building or remodeling project, let us make sure you start your project off right, with the right material at the right price so you can score big and get the job done. Stop by and see our local guys with over 60 years of experience serving you. Come by any one of our 4 locations in Oxford, Talladega, Jacksonville, Roanoke, and don't forget about our low price guarantee.
When it comes to great tasting barbecue, nobody does it better than Dad's Barbecue. Dad's Barbecue is slow cooked to perfection, and Dad's menu now includes burgers, shakes, and delicious cheddar muffins. Large groups are always welcome, and Dad's does catering too. And Dad's offers fast, friendly service, and they're kid-friendly. Dine in or drive-through. Dad's Barbecue, family owned since 1985, with 2 locations in Anniston to serve you.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of J.D. Hess, Tim Hodges,
Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You will be glad you did.
The X-Mark Radius. This is the mower that cut the lawn where you watched your family explore. The Radius will get you on and off the lawn quickly with the signature cut, comfort, and reliability more landscape pros trust. X-Mark, official mowers of the Backyard Line. Get into a Radius as low as $93 per month with approved credit. Check them out today at Triple T Turf, 204 Anniston Street in Weaver. Open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, 8 to noon Saturday. And Triple T Turf is also your still dealer for outdoor power equipment.
Back on the high school football Alabama scoreboard presented by the City of Oxford. All season long, beginning all the way back in August, we started with 60 student athletes from all schools in Calhoun County plus Spring Garden High School. We had 4 scholar athletes from each school. You, the fans, went to High School Football Alabama's Facebook page over the course of about a month and a half, and you voted to narrow that from 60 down to 30. The final 30 we had just a couple of weeks ago received a $50 gift card. All of those will receive a $50 gift card, a Visa gift card from Farmers and Merchants Bank. Then from the final 30, you again, all of our High School Football Alabama viewers and listeners out there, went to our Facebook page for the second round of voting. And you voted for 2 more scholar athletes and 1 male, 1 female to receive a $1,500 college scholarship courtesy of Farmers and Merchants Bank. So tonight, we're going to go over those final 30, and then we're going to introduce to you the 2 scholarship winners tonight. Let's give you the final 30 as we begin with Allie Jennings of Spring Garden High School. She was the female from SG. Chaz Pope, also from Spring Garden. Also tonight, Emily Farmer from Piedmont was representing Piedmont on the female side. On the male side from Piedmont, Landon Smart. Also, we had Ella Wilson from Oxford High School. The male student athlete from Oxford was Miguel Mitchell. Also, Alyssa Harris was the female representative from Jacksonville High School. The male representative, Quintavious Q. Long of Jacksonville. Also, Anna Stroutman of Faith Christian School. Representing Faith on the male side of things was Colton Palmer. Our next 2 nominees, Yana Osofska of the Donahoe School was our female from Donahoe. The male was Brady Patterson of Donahoe High School. Camden Wilson, our female, out of White Plains. Also, our male athlete from White Plains was Kendrick Ball. And we had Shakarian Gay of Sachs High School, our female representative, and our male representative from Sachs High School, the quarterback. You'll see a lot of him tonight in our highlights, as a matter of fact, Sean Parnell. Kylie Barnes of Ohatchee High School, our female representative from the Creek Bank, and Britton Honecker was our male student-athlete nominee from Ohatchee. Riley Haynes from Pleasant Valley High School, our female from PV. Representing Pleasant Valley on the male side was Garrett Cranmer. And also, we had Tiana Lawrence of Weaver. She was our female nominee from Weaver High School. Our male nominee was football player Cole Perry from Weaver High School. Also from Alexandria High School on the female side of things, Lexi Weber. And on the male side, it was their quarterback, Austin West from Alexandria High School. From Jacksonville Christian, the female nominee, J.C. Brackett. And our male nominee was Brody Clay from Jacksonville Christian High School. Also from Anniston High School, Shawana Jackson. Representing the Bulldogs on the male side was basketball player Tayton Jones. And finally, from Walter Welborn High School, the female athlete was Katie Daniel, and the male athlete was Braden Dempsey. Those are the final 30, and we're going to bring it back here, and we have Jonathan Mosley here from Farmers and Merchants Bank. Jonathan, before we bring in and our female athlete and present the check, thank you for being with us here on this Football Friday night.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Just talk about the commitment, because this is not the first time that Farmers and Merchants Bank has given away money to local athletes right here in the greater Calhoun County community. You've been doing this for a long time, and literally, when you start counting scholarship money and gift cards, you have given away Farmers and Merchants Bank really tens of thousands of dollars that stay right here with our local student athletes from local high schools.
That's right, John. We feel it's very important to support our local school system, and big supporter of athletics. This is actually our second year in a row to do the scholarship contest like this, and we're very proud to do so.
Absolutely, and this is just one of the things we want to do is we changed things up a couple years ago. We wanted to have the fans involved and get them involved. So we didn't pick these folks. It's not Farmers and Merchants in High School Football Alabama picking them. It's you, the viewers out there, who picked our winners.
That's right. Yeah, we wanted to do something a little different. You know, we've actually went out to the schools some and done some like throwing, pitching contests before. This year, like you said, we wanted to turn it over to the fans and let them be the ones that decided. So using social media, we turned it loose on social media and had several thousands of votes with your help. And what did we start off with, 60, you said, and then down to 30, and ultimately ended up with just 2 really deserving student athletes.
And as you'll see tonight, one thing too, people may think, well, the larger schools have an advantage. That is not true. Last year, our female athlete was from Donahoe, a small private 1A school. Our male winners was from Class 3A Pleasant Valley. And tonight, not the biggest schools, as we'll see here in just a moment,
That's
not
right.
the biggest schools always winning. It's who's turning out the vote. And these 2 schools that are going to be represented tonight really turned out the vote.
That's right.
Let's talk about just Farmers and Merchants Bank and the commitment, because you and I have said in meetings before.
Sure.
And this is something that I want to tell you, Farmers and Merchants Bank, their commitment to the local communities, our local schools, is phenomenal. Your involvement, Farmers and Merchants Bank involvement with our local schools through the years has been really incredible.
Yeah, like I said, it's really important that we support the local schools and big supporters of athletics. We're a community bank, and that's in our name. We're Farmers and Merchants Bank, and we just feel like it's important to give back to the community. What better way to do that than through the schools and through the students, athletes? All
right, people have been, I don't know if they can see it or not, but we're going to bring our female winner in. It's ladies first, and we'll make the check presentation. This is a very special young lady, folks, from Sachs High School, voted by you. The Sachs folks really got out and voted in supporting Shakarian Gay. She's been cheering tonight. She's here in her cheer. I spoke with her out there. The Wildcats won tonight out at Jack Stewart Field, and she gets the $1,500 scholarship. Let me tell you something. I know as I spoke with Jody Whaley, the principal at Sachs, and he was telling me this young lady's been through a tough time here lately. She just recently lost her father, and to the COVID-19 virus, I believe. And so we very much send along our thoughts and prayers to you. Continue, and but the folks in Sachs think they turned out for you, Shakarian, and they have you a $1,500 college scholarship, plus you get a $50 gift card as well. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Shakarian Gay from Sachs High School, our female winner in the Farmers and Merchants Bank Spirit Scholarship Contest. Now we have a male winner as well. Our male winner was playing football tonight, and he was playing football in Tuscaloosa. So obviously he's not here. But earlier in the week, we were at the Farmers and Merchants Bank Jacksonville office, and here is our presentation to our male Spirit Scholarship winner. And we are here at Farmers and Merchants Bank, the Jacksonville location on Alabama Highway 21 in Jacksonville, and we are going to make the presentation for our male Spirit Scholarship athlete voted by you at High School Football Alabama on Facebook, and we have our winner. The reason we're here in Jacksonville doing this is because it's a Friday night, and our winner is actually a football player for the Jacksonville High School Golden Eagles, and they are playing in Tuscaloosa against American Christian in the second round of the Class 4A playoffs. So our winner is Quintavious Long of Jacksonville High School. They call him Q. So if we call him Q during this interview, that's not a mistake on my part. We also have Chris Latta here, who is the president of Farmers and Merchants Bank. And first, we just want to say congratulations. And we've got a $1,500 check for Quintavious here, courtesy of Farmers and Merchants Bank, as our male Spirit Scholarship Athlete of the Year. And Chris, I just want to commend Farmers and Merchants Bank, because for so many years you have conducted a scholarship program, and you have put literally tens of thousands of dollars into the hands of local student athletes here in the greater Calhoun County area.
We have. It's just part of, giving back to the community. We like to support the communities we're in, and we think supporting the student athletes that are in these communities is a great thing to do. And, it's $1,500, and hopefully they take it, go on to the next level, and keep on coming back and adding more to the community. So it's all about community support.
Absolutely. And Farmers and Merchants Bank, the idea for this, I know you're passionate. High School Football Alabama is passionate, and I know Farmers and Merchants Bank is really passionate about the local community and especially, as you just said, supporting the local student athletes. And we have great young people here. And guys like Q Long, we want to recognize those great young people we have in our community. I know Farmers and Merchants Bank is certainly on board with that.
We are. It's all about, like you said, we're a community bank located in Calhoun County, several communities in Calhoun County, and we believe very strongly in giving back and supporting the people, the businesses in those communities, and that's just one way to do it.
All right, our male winner by you in our Spirit Scholarship contest, fan favorite contest, voted by you on Facebook over about 10 days. You all voted for the most votes, the highest votes, Quintavious Long of Jacksonville High School. Quintavious Long, our male winner. Our female winner, once again, Shakarian Long. Her mom is over here, and she has a birthday today. So, Mom, happy birthday. She's off camera here. I tried to get her to come on. She did not want to do that. Don't blame her. Shakarian, congratulations once again. Jonathan, thank you. And all the folks at Farmers and Merchants Bank. You just hang in here with us. We're going to talk about the city of Oxford. We talked about it getting close to Thanksgiving, folks. It is getting close, and one of the reasons we know is the city of Oxford's Festival of Lights, presented by Alabama Power. Choccolocco Park in Oxford will be transformed into a winter wonderland. Enjoy the drive-through holiday show that features over 1 million lights. You can do that from the comfort of your car. It's one carload, one price. You can come and park and come into Santa's Village, presented by First Bank of Alabama, where there's an outdoor skating rink, large inflatables, there's food trucks. You can visit Santa, have your picture taken with him. It opens November 20th, folks. That is next Saturday night, believe it or not, running all the way through Christmas Eve, December the 24th, from 5 until 10 p.m. every night. Get your tickets at oxfordlights.com. That's oxfordlights.com. More of the High School Football Alabama Scoreboard, presented by the City of Oxford, in just a moment.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
In Alabama, school spirit is in the air on Friday nights. At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're giving our customers the opportunity to show their school spirit every day with our new Spirit debit card. We've designed a unique card for every Calhoun County school that includes the school's logo. So every time you use the card, you're showing your school spirit. Come in and get your school spirit debit card today. We've got spirit at F&M Bank. Service, solutions, and strength. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
I can't imagine life without Gwen, but we came dangerously close.
I was having chest pains.
Luckily, there was a hospital nearby that quickly discovered one of her arteries was 100% blocked. A hospital with life-saving technology and the latest in cardiac treatment, with an experienced team of doctors and nurses focused on fixing Gwen's heart. What hospital had all of that?
It was all right here at RMC.
Aniston Orthopedics continues to provide a legacy of outstanding sports injury care on and off the field, keeping our players in the game. Aniston Orthopedics offers our Saturday morning sports injury clinic from 8 to 10 a.m. throughout the high school football season. Aniston Orthopedics also offers full-service physical therapy and occupational therapy departments. To learn more, visit our website at www.anistonortho.com. Aniston Orthopedics, located in the Tyler Center adjacent to RMC.
I'm John Holder, host of the High School Football Alabama Scoreboard Show. Keller Williams real estate agent Amber Cotton sold my house, and I can tell you she's the best. But don't take just my word for it.
I'm Coach Michael Easley from Montford High School, and Amber Cotton sold my house.
I'm Coach Clint Smith from Jacksonville High School, and Amber Cotton sold my house.
This is Coach Jonathan Miller of the Sax Wildcats, and Amber Cotton sold my house.
I'm Amber Cotton, and if you're in the market to sell a home in Calhoun County, I would love the privilege of meeting your real estate needs too.
This holiday season, visit Festival of Lights, proudly brought to you by Alabama Power. Chocolaco Park in Oxford, Alabama is transformed into a winter wonderland and is the perfect way to get into the holiday spirit. Drive through the Twinkling Light Show, then stop and enter Santa's Village, sponsored by First Bank of Alabama, for delicious food, outdoor skating, and a visit with Santa. Come and see the wonder that is Festival of Lights. Open November 20th through December 24th, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. nightly. To get your tickets, visit oxfordlights.com.
And the high school football Alabama scoreboard presented by the City of Oxford, rolling on this football Friday night, broadcasting for you tonight on the Big 95, 95.3, streaming live tonight on Facebook and on YouTube at High School Football Alabama. Time to go back to our Oxford Lumber and Ace Hardware High School Football scoreboard and give you all the final scores from teams here in East Alabama. Coming up a little bit later on tonight, in just a moment, we'll start running through the brackets, give you every score in the state and all the matchups for next week. We have corrected, it's been a crazy night, we have corrected all of our finals, and we have all of the finals from all of the teams here in East Alabama. Piedmont tonight shutting out Lauderdale County 31-0. Pinson Valley tonight beats the Oxford Yellow Jackets 20-0, the final tonight. Sax wins over Oatman. We'll have highlights of that game coming from Jack Stewart Field at Sax, 36-22. Ohatchee season ends tonight on the road at Winfield. The Pirates remain undefeated as they beat Ohatchee tonight, 56-27. The big game that everyone's going to be talking about, this is a corrected final. It was actually 41-34. Parker tonight, the number 7 team of the state. They were coming in at 10-1. They got a little bit of revenge. They had played last year in the second round down in Birmingham. Alexandria won that game 32-21. Alexandria at home tonight, again in the second round. Almost exactly a year later, Alexandria falls tonight as they lose to Parker by a score of 41-34. This is now a confirmed final. American Christian ends Jacksonville's season tonight down in Tuscaloosa, the number 2 team in the state in Class 4A. American Christian beating Jacksonville. This was 21-21 at halftime. American Christian outscoring Jacksonville by a couple of scores in the second half to win the game 49-35. Woodland, the Bobcats, came into the playoffs 3-7. They went to Cedar Bluff. They went to Meek. They're still playing football. Woodland 5-7 wins at Arley tonight in Winston County over the Meek Tigers 21-14 to improve to 5-7 and into the Class 1A quarterfinals next week. It was a big night for Randolph County teams. 3 teams in Randolph County playing. All 3 teams won. Woodland won. Hanley at home, the number 7 team and defending state champion in Class 4A, beating Bibb County down at Wright Field in Roanoke 28-14. And also just down Highway 22 at Wadley. Wadley won tonight, beating Hubbardsville in 1A second round action 28-14. As a matter of fact, we'll have 2 Randolph County teams next week matching up. Wadley and Woodland. Wadley won the regular season game. They'll play again at Wadley next week in the quarterfinals of the 1A playoffs. Tough loss tonight in Class 5A. Central of Clay County down 19-6 in the first half. Brought it all the way back to lead the game a couple of times. But in the end, Faith Academy wins in Mobile tonight over Central of Clay County 40-35. Corey LaBounty from Sports Talk 99.5 in Mobile will join us, and we're going to talk about that game. He was at the game. We'll talk Gulf Coast football a little bit later on. Clay Central season ends tonight in Mobile. BB Comer continues to roll. They win tonight in Maplesville as they beat Isabella 34-25 as BB Comer rolls into the Class 2A quarterfinals. This is now confirmed. It was kind of soupy out there who was winning this game, but Pickens County in Class 1A did win tonight over Winterboro 38-16. Pickens County 38, Winterboro 16, the final score tonight in Class 1A over in Reform. This is now a final. This is a crazy, wild game. That is not the basketball game tonight. Decatur Heritage and Raglan did not play basketball. They played a football game at Joan Ford Stadium in Raglan, and this is the final. 136 points scored in this game tonight as Decatur Heritage comes in to Ragland, and they beat the Purple Devils 76-60 tonight. Decatur Heritage 76, Ragland 60. Up at Bobby Joe Johnson Field in Center tonight, C.F. Viger coming over 330 miles from Pritchard to face the Cherokee County Warriors. They win over Center tonight, 34-0, the final score over the Warriors at Bobby Joe Johnson Field. And Spring Garden continues to roll. The Panthers now officially 12-0 on the year. The number 5 ranked team in the state in Class 2A, Spring Garden, winning tonight at Panther Stadium as they win over Aliceville 40-35. And as we bring it back, let's tell you about our Team of the Year. We are going to let you, our high school football Alabama viewers and listeners, go to our Facebook page starting at midnight tonight at High School Football Alabama, and you will be able to vote on Team of the Year. This is the way that it's going to work here, folks. You are going to be able to vote by going to our Facebook page, and you will click on the helmet. You'll click on the helmet of the team that you want to vote for as your Team of the Year. And we have the 11 nominees are the 11 weekly winners from Team of the Year. So these are the teams that we selected as Team of the Year for all 11 weeks. Now, you will pick one of those 11 teams to be our City of Oxford High School Football Alabama Team of the Year. Alexandria, Anniston, Cherokee County, Cleburne County, Gadsden City, Jacksonville, Ohatchee, Oxford, Piedmont, Spring Garden, and Weaver. Those are the schools that you can vote for by just clicking on their helmet, liking that at High School Football Alabama on Facebook. You can do that beginning at midnight tonight, and that will be all the way through noon next Friday, November 19th. And on our final show of the year, next Friday night, November the 19th, we will announce our City of Oxford High School Football Alabama Team of the Year. We are coming to you tonight from our Regional Medical Center, our RMC Media Center here at Parker Memorial Baptist Church, Midtown Anniston on Quintard. Also, a little bit later on, we'll have a lot of special guests. Our special guest that just joined us here on our Noble Bank post-game presser, and we've got more special guests coming up. Let's talk about Noble Bank and Trust. Do you like cash back? Let me just tell you, if you like cash back, plain and simple, the Noble Bank cash back account. No tricks, no gimmicky names, free accounts that pay you cash back, unlimited transactions, fraud protection, refunds on ATM withdrawal fees nationwide. If that sounds like your kind of banking, visit noblebank.com and learn more about the Noble Cashback account. Welcome to personal banking. Welcome to Noble Bank and Trust. Noblebank.com, member FDIC. When we come back, more of the High School Football Alabama Scoreboard presented by the City of Oxford.
Cash back. Plain and simple. That's what you'll get on the Noble Bank cash back account. No tricks, no gimmicky names, just free accounts that pay you cash back. If unlimited transactions, fraud protection, and refunds on ATM withdrawal fees nationwide sounds like your kind of banking, visit us at noblebank.com and learn more about the Noble Cashback account. Welcome to personal banking. Welcome to Noble Bank and Trust. Noblebank.com, member FDIC.
Hi, this is Jimmy Newman from Oxford Lumber. I've kicked off many times in my football days, and that's an exciting play. When you're ready to kick off your next building or remodeling project, let us make sure you start your project off right, with the right material at the right price so you can score big and get the job done. Stop by and see our local guys with over 60 years of experience serving you. Come by any one of our 4 locations in Oxford, Talladega, Jacksonville, or Roanoke. And don't forget about our low price guarantee.
When mealtime calls for the best farm-raised catfish, look no further than Top of the River. With 3 convenient locations, you're never far from the very best catfish East Alabama has to offer. The friendly folks at Top of the River are waiting to serve you the fish that owner Shannon Robertson says they've served exclusively for 25 years and to perfection.
Since '96, I've never served one other type of fish, ever, other than farm-raised catfish.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of J.D. Hess, Tim Hodges, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You will be glad you did.
The X-Mark Quest. This is the mower that cuts the lawn that became the place your kids grew up. The X-Mark Quest. The cut, quality, and performance more landscape pros trust at a price you can afford. X-Mark. Official mowers of the backyard life. Get into a Quest as low as $62 per month with approved credit. Come check them out today at Triple T Turf, 204 Anniston Street in Weaver. Open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, 8 to noon Saturday. And Triple T Turf is also your still dealer for outdoor power equipment.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at peeweeturnermotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
HighSchoolFootballAlabama.com, the Big 95 WHMA and 97.5 FM are proud to be the home of the High School Football Alabama Scoreboard with John Holder, presented by the City of Oxford.
The High School Football Alabama Scoreboard is also brought to you by Young Oil Company Grub Marts, Farmers and Merchants Bank, Regional Medical Center, Anniston Orthopedics Associates, Keller Williams Real Estate Agent Amber Cotton, Pee Wee Turner Motors, Noble Bank and Trust, Oxford Lumber Company, Dad's Barbecue and Top of the River, the Calhoun County Commission, and Triple T Turf.
The High School Football Alabama Scoreboard with John Holder, presented by the City of Oxford on 97.5 FM, the Big 95 WHMA, and highschoolfootballalabama.com.
This is the High School Football Alabama Scoreboard on a football Friday night on the Big 95, 95.3 FM. Also, High School Football Alabama streaming live tonight on Facebook and on YouTube as well. We're with you all the way until 12 midnight. John Holder with you, our entire hardworking HSFA crew with you all the way until 12 midnight. One more week after this week, we'll be with you for the quarterfinals, and that will end our season, a great season to spend here on High School Football Alabama. Right now, we are going to, the technology's great, folks, and I love it. We're going to run you down to Mobile. You want to talk about an expert and a guy who knows high school football like no other in the Port City and all along the Gulf Coast. We've got Corey LaBounty joining us from Sports Talk 99.5 in Mobile, also a part of the AHSAA radio network. You hear his voice if you go to the Super 7 and State Finals basketball. You hear him as the PA announcer there as well. Really talented guy. Corey LaBounty joins us from Mobile. Corey, good evening. Glad to have you with us tonight from where it's probably a little bit warmer than it is here in North Alabama.
I tell you what, thank you for having me, John. Technology is amazing, and it's always a pleasure to talk with you. And great high school football here along the Gulf Coast tonight. But you're right, the temperature definitely is dropping. You can tell the playoffs are in the air, and had a great game tonight. Saw our guy Tommy Wood down here with Central of Clay. Them and Faith Academy both had a barn burner of a game. Faith Academy wins 40-33 tonight over Central of Clay.
And I know, Corey, you were at that game tonight checking out Central of Clay County and Faith Academy. Really turned into one of the better games in the state tonight. Obviously, that's one of our local teams here in East Alabama, so I know our folks want to know all about that game and how it unfolded. I know early on it was Faith Academy out to a 2-touchdown lead, but then Danny Horn and the Vols, they came back and actually led this thing a couple of times, right?
Absolutely. Faith Academy, when you talk about this game tonight, 19-6 was our halftime score. So you really felt that Faith Academy had taken advantage of the situation of being at home and really have the crowd behind them. But you know, any team that is coached by Danny Horn, there's going to be no quit. And they know how to come back and win. And 26-19 was our score at the end of the third quarter. So Central of Clay really got it going. And the thing about Central of Clay, is Terry Heflin. This young man can run the rock. He had over 240 rushing yards tonight, and Faith Academy could not stop Central Laclede running the football in the second half, as he had over 216 rushing yards in the second half alone, John. Very impressive. Central Laclede took the lead, and it was 33-33 right there with 5 minutes left to go in the game. Christian Burnett, the running back from Faith Academy, wound up scoring at least 3 touchdowns tonight, and they were all explosive runs, John. He had an 85-yard screen pass that he took on 3rd down and 20. He took that to the house. He also had an 80-yard touchdown run after Central had tied it up with 3:01 remaining in the game. He takes it on 2nd down and jots 80 yards to the house, and Faith Academy ultimately wins it 40-33.
Well, Corey, the thing about this was I think folks looked on paper and they saw, man, Faith Academy's coming into this game 6-4. Clay Central's the team that is a perennial playoff power, won a couple of state championships. They're state ranked. I think many folks, if they just looked on paper, probably thought that Clay Central was a big favorite in this game, but I didn't have that attitude because I knew the schedule that Faith Academy had played. This was a team last year that only lost to eventual state champion St. Paul's in the semis by a point in overtime. So this was a case where the record was very deceiving because Faith Academy, the schedule they have played has been tremendous.
Absolutely. When you start talking about Faith Academy's losses at 6-4, they lose by maybe 2 or 3 points to Viger, and who is now in the 3rd round of the playoffs. They lose maybe a close game to UMS Wright by less than 10 points. Then they turn around in the first game of the year, they lose to Andalusia in week 0. And their other loss to St. Paul's, who takes Pike Road down to the wire tonight also. So their 4 losses were very deceiving. But the thing about a Jack French coach team, who is the head coach at Faith Academy, he's won everywhere he's been. He's won at Baldwin County, taking them to the playoffs. He's won at Baker, taking them to the playoffs. Now at Faith Academy for consecutive years, he's taken them into the 3rd round of the playoffs, and they're going to host Pike Road next week. So that's going to be a great game. But Faith Academy is an outstanding team with explosive players. And I told Tommy before the game, they have explosive playmakers. They're led by a quarterback who's a senior, Colton Wood. He threw 2 touchdown passes to I Need Goodwill tonight. So Faith Academy is just learning and getting better. And when you have close losses like they have in their region and their schedule, you learn from them. And that's exactly what Faith Academy has done.
And Corey, you mentioned Jack French, and he was maybe even more successful, probably was more successful coaching in a long career in the state of Mississippi. Tonight, what we had, and if you like old school football and old school coaches, Jack French and Danny Horn absolutely fit the bill. I love those 2 guys. And we had a rare chance. You had a rare chance in Mobile tonight to watch a matchup between Jack French and Danny Horn. You don't see that very often, 2 Hall of Famers.
Absolutely. When you start talking about the dean of high school coaches, these 2 gentlemen can flat out get it done. I mean, I would take these 2 guys and the young men that they've coached and the mentored and what they mean to their former players. It speaks volumes on both of these coaches and the success that they've had at all their stops. Both coaches are automatic winners, and the way they lead these young men and the success that they have in touching these young people's lives that they've coached is just. And I really was excited tonight knowing that on paper, like you said, you start looking at rankings, you can throw those out of the window in the second round playoff game, especially here between these 2 Titans, because you mentioned Faith Academy losing to eventual state champion 1 year ago, St. Paul's. Talking about Central Laclede having the state championships and learning and getting better this year as the year has gone on. Just 2 great teams and just 2 great, a great game here in Mobile, Alabama at Ram Field.
Corey, I don't know that a team, as we switch gears here, I don't know that there's been a school since we went to the Super 6, Super 7 concept and started playing state championships on a neutral site. I don't know if we've had a school since that time that has traveled a further distance for a playoff game than Viger did tonight, coming from your backyard in Pritchard all the way to the shores of Weiss Lake in our backyard to center. I think 337 miles for a second round playoff game. Viger coming to center tonight, but Viger showing why they are a strong contender for the Class 4A state championship as they come in and beat a very good Cherokee County team tonight, 34-0. I know you've seen Viger this year, and I know that our teams in this part of the state, most notably Hanley, may not be done with Viger as of yet. Tell us about the Wolves.
I tell you, the Wolfpack under second-year head coach John McKenzie are to be reckoned with because they have a senior-leading quarterback in Anthony Mix Jr. His dad played at Auburn. Anthony Mix, the wide receiver, so he has great genetics, but he is not making mistakes with football. He has his cousin as the running back. Jermaine Coleman is running the football extremely well, and Viger is very stingy on defense. We remember them a couple of years ago in that epic game that they had with Central Clay. Well, those guys were freshmen at the time, and the last couple of years, Viger has taken their lumps, but this team has grown up a lot throughout Coach McKenzie's tutelage. And again, this is a team that only lost one game, and it wasn't until they lost to St. Paul's in the last regular season game of the week. They were trying to go 15-0 to get to that blue map, but the pressure was kind of off of the Viger Wolves, and having to travel some 6 hours from the Pritchard, Alabama area, you were kind of wondering how they were going to respond, and they went ahead and took care of business tonight. And I tell you, the Viger Wolfpack, if they stay healthy, they have an opportunity to capture a blue map.
Well, you start looking ahead. I know that's a dangerous thing to do, especially the quarterfinals. There's some tough football coming up, but the thing about it is, I think everybody kind of now is anticipating the possibility in the semifinals the night after Thanksgiving that we could see a Hanley-Viger rematch from last year when they played in the first round in Roanoke, a game that Hanley won 32-20 en route to a state championship. If we get that game in the semifinals, a rematch, I know that this is a game that Coach McKenzie, I interviewed him just about a month ago, and he was talking even about Hanley then. It was a game they felt like that they had a lot of injuries last year and that they could have won, and we could have a monumental matchup possibly in a couple of weeks between Hanley and Viger.
I think the biggest thing for the Viger Wolves is staying healthy. Again, it's all going to be centered around their quarterback play. Their defense has 2 or 3 Division I prospects on it, and because of that, any defense plays well. They have a sophomore linebacker that leads them in tackles with over some 96 tackles on the season, some 7 sacks. And it's just going to be interesting to see how Viger responds here in week 3. It's just 1 week at a time. You try not to look ahead. I know as a media person, I love to look ahead at those particular matchups that may be on paper or in the semifinals. But again, the Wolfpack going on the road some 6 hours, showing the resiliency that they are going to be reckoned with to try to go ahead. Not only did they win the region here, 4A Region 1, they want to show and put the rest of the state on notice that Viger Wolfpack is back and they are ready to go ahead and compete for a blue map.
Corey, before we let you go, a couple of things. First, let's talk about your work with the Alabama High School Athletic Association Radio Network. You're going to be working, we mentioned our friend Tommy Wood, you're going to be working calling some state championship games coming up at the Super 7 at Protective Stadium in Birmingham in that first week in December.
Absolutely. Looking forward to working with Tommy, doing the 3A and 4A state championship games. Going to have that first opportunity to see the new stadium on UAB's campus. So I'm looking forward to that. And it was great to see Tommy tonight. But anytime we can all assemble because of COVID 1 year ago, even though it was in Tuscaloosa, we can get that true high school atmosphere that we're going to experience. I know we're going to have some great Super 7 matchups. So looking forward to those. But yes, I will be covering the 3A and 4A games with Tommy, so look forward to the AHSAA radio network coverage there.
And finally, Corey, before we let you get out of here and get back to your Friday night, if folks want to keep up with what's happening in high school football and high school athletics on the Gulf Coast as we kind of count down to some of these big matchups coming up in the quarterfinals and semifinals, a great resource is your show on 99.7 99.5. Tell us about the show. And folks, that's streaming, so folks can tune in from anywhere and listen to you. Tell us about the show.
John, thank you for that opportunity. That's right. You can download the iHeartRadio app, and that's going to be when you search on that iHeartRadio app, you go to Sports Talk 99.5. The show is every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. I know it's nice and early, but you can get that cup of coffee, and you can hear all about high school athletics 52 weeks out of the year from 7 to 9 a.m. Central on Sports Talk 99.5 on iHeartRadio app. Just download that free radio app, and you can listen to all the high school coaches from around the state of Alabama and, of course, locally here in Mobile, Baldwin County as well from 7 to 9 a.m. on Sports Talk 99.5.
Corey, thank you for spending time with us here on the High School Football Alabama Scoreboard. I will see you soon, my friend. Corey Bounty from 99.5 Sports Talk in Mobile. Corey, thank you for being with us on this Football Friday night.
My pleasure, John. Always a pleasure. Thank you for having me, and best of luck moving forward in the show.
Corey Bounty of Sports Talk 99.5 in Mobile. Let's talk about Young Oil Company Grub Mart. This is the place to be. We're getting down to the holiday season. We're talking a lot about that with Thanksgiving on the cusp of things. And I'm just telling you, the place to go is Grub Mart. They've got all your needs, anything that you need. I know you're going to need ice for a lot of those holiday celebrations, 99-cent bags of ice at any time. The Grub Tub, the popcorn buckets, $5.99. That gets you free refills all the way through the end of next August. The gasoline needs, all of your needs that you have, and Young Oil Grub Mart locations located all across East Alabama, from Center to Auburn, Opelika. If you're going to that Auburn, Mississippi State game tomorrow, a couple of Grub Mart locations in Lee County. Check them out as well. Young Oil Grub Mart brings you our muscle team and also proud supporters of the High School Football Alabama Scoreboard. We'll be back with more as we roll on a Football Friday night. Brackets are coming up on the Scoreboard.
In Alabama, school spirit is in the air on Friday nights. At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're giving our customers the opportunity to show their school spirit every day with our new Spirit debit card. We've designed a unique card for every Calhoun County school that includes the school's logo. So every time you use the card, you're showing your school spirit. Come in and get your school spirit debit card today. We've got spirit at F&M Bank. Service, solutions, and strength. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
As a social worker, my cousin devotes her career to helping others. But when she was diagnosed with cancer, she was the one who needed help. She needed a hospital with an accredited cancer program and the latest in technology and care options. Plus, a compassionate team of doctors, nurses, and counselors with treatments that fit her schedule. So where did she find all that?
Right here at RMC.
Aniston Orthopedics continues to provide a legacy of outstanding sports injury care on and off the field, keeping our players in the game. Aniston Orthopedics offers our Saturday morning sports injury clinic from 8 to 10 a.m. throughout the high school football season. Aniston Orthopedics also offers full-service physical therapy and occupational therapy departments. To learn more, visit our website at www.anistonortho.com. Aniston Orthopedics, located in the Tyler Center adjacent to RMC.
I'm John Holder, host of the High School Football Alabama Scoreboard Show. Keller Williams real estate agent Amber Cotton sold my house, and I can tell you she's the best. But don't take just my word for it.
I'm Coach Michael Easley from Montford High School, and Amber Cotton sold my house.
I'm Coach Clint Smith from Jacksonville High School, and Amber Cotton sold my house.
This is Coach Jonathan Miller of the Sacs Wildcats, and Amber Cotton sold my house.
I'm Amber Cotton, and if you're in the market to sell a home in Calhoun County, I would love the privilege of meeting your real estate needs too.
This holiday season, visit Festival of Lights, proudly brought to you by Alabama Power. Chocolaco Park in Oxford, Alabama is transformed into a winter wonderland and is the perfect way to get into the holiday spirit. Drive through the Twinkling Light Show, then stop and enter Santa's Village, sponsored by First Bank of Alabama, for delicious food, outdoor skating, and a visit with Santa. Come and see the wonder that is Festival of Lights. Open November 20th through December 24th, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. nightly. To get your tickets, visit oxfordlights.com.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
WHMA FM, Hobson City, Anniston, Oxford, WKLS HD3, Southside, and W248CE, 97.5 FM, Gadsden.
Back on the high school football Alabama scoreboard. Appreciate Corey LaBounty joining us on the Noble Bank and Trust post-game presser. Bracket time now. We're going to go through every bracket, 1A through 7A in the entire state of Alabama, give you every score in the state, and give you all the matchups for the quarterfinal round coming up next week. So let's begin in Class 1A as we always do. Keith tonight. This is the surprise team in the state of Alabama, having by far their best team in school history. Keith wins tonight over Notasulga. Number 7 Keith beating number 6 Notasulga tonight in Orrville as they win tonight down in Dallas County 19-2. Brantley, the number 1 team in the state in the last AHSAA poll, they jumped all over Millry tonight at home at Brantley as they beat the Millry Wildcats 48-15. So next week it will be Brantley traveling on the road. They will travel up to Keith in Orrville in Dallas County to take on the Bears. Keith, number 7, 11-1 now, and Brantley, the number 1 team in the final AHSAA poll, they are now 11-0. And then the matchup everyone has been anticipating in 1A football this year is going to happen next Friday night. Number 3 Maplesville, number 2 Sweetwater. Maplesville tonight at home knocked off defending state champion Linden. So we're going to have a new state champion in Class 1A. Maplesville beats Linden tonight 22-15 at Maplesville. Maplesville now 11-1. They will travel. Actually, they will be at home next week as they will be taking on the Sweetwater Bulldogs. Sweetwater beat Kinston 54-7 tonight down at Sweetwater. Kinston won their first playoff game in history, hosted their first playoff game in history last week, but tonight it came to an end as they traveled into Sweetwater to take on the Bulldogs. Sweetwater wins it 54-7. Next week, number 2 versus number 3. What a matchup in the quarterfinals, Sweetwater and Maplesville. We come to North Alabama in Class 1A now. A surprise team. This is the Cinderella right now in the state in any classification. Right here, our own Woodland Bobcats. Woodland tonight goes on the road and they beat Meek in Arley 21-14. Woodland 3-7 to end the regular season. They were the number 4 team in the region out of Class 1A Region 5. But they have now won 2 playoff games on the road. They're now 5-7, but they're in the state quarterfinals. They will get Wadley. Wadley beat Hubbardsville 28-14 tonight down at Wadley. Wadley is the number 8 team of the state in Class 1A in the last poll. They are now 11-1 is Wadley. So next week, Woodland and Wadley, this was a rematch of a regular season game. Wadley won the first time. This is an all Randolph County matchup. They will play because when 2 teams from the same region meet each other, the higher seed automatically is at home. So even though Wadley has been at home twice and Woodland has been on the road twice, that doesn't mean anything. Woodland's going to have to make the short trip cross county from Woodland to Wadley next week as Woodland will take on the Wadley Bulldogs down at Curtis Lynch Memorial Stadium in Wadley. And the other game in North Alabama, we've got 76-52. It's actually 76-60. Decatur Heritage beating Ragland tonight at Joan Ford Stadium in Ragland, 76-60. Pickens County, the team that represented the North last year, they beat Winterboro tonight in Reform, 38-16. So next week, a very intriguing matchup. Pickens County traveling to Decatur to take on Decatur Heritage. The coach of Decatur Heritage is going to retire. He's already announced that at the end of the season, so they have a lot to play for. So Pickens County, you see their corrected score there. Pickens County of Reform travels into Decatur to take on Decatur Heritage. Decatur Heritage now 10-2, the number 4 team in the state in the last AHSAA poll, taking on number 5 Pickens County. They are also now 10-2 as they come into that game ranked number 5 in the last ASWA poll in that big game that will be played up in Morgan County next week. We now go to Class 2A. In Class 2A in the South, Isabella at home tonight lost to BB Comer. BB Comer, I've been saying it all year, the most underrated team maybe in any class in the state. BB Comer wins tonight at Isabella 34-25. BB Comer goes to 10-2, the number 9 team in the last ASWA poll. They will be back at home at Legion Stadium in Sylacauga next week to take on Clark County. Clark County beat Ariton tonight at home in Grove Hill 27-20. So Clark County, number 2 in the final ASWA poll. They are 10-2. They will travel into Legion Stadium in Sylacauga to face BB Comer, the number 9 team in 2A, next Friday night. Also in the South, Lynette rolling over Luverne tonight at Morgan Washburn Stadium in Lynette. Lynette, the number 1 team in the final ASWA poll. They are now 10-2, and they will be on the road next week to take on another Cinderella team, the Highland Home Flying Squadron. Highland Home came into the playoffs 5-5. They've won 2 games. They are now 7-5. They routed Elba tonight, the number 3 ranked team in the state. Elba came into this game at 10-1. Highland Home beats Elba by a score of 32-0 tonight. One of the biggest wins, maybe the biggest win in Highland Home school history. And they will be at home next week in Crenshaw County to welcome in the number 1 Lynette Panthers. We come to the north. A lot of surprises in the north. Southeastern tonight, a team that couple of years, within the last decade, was not even a school, didn't have a football team, obviously. Now Southeastern is in the quarterfinals of the Class 2A state playoffs. They win tonight at home against Sulligent 37-18, and they will get a rematch with Cleveland. Cleveland routed Southeastern when they played the first time in the regular season. They routed Southeastern. So now this is a rematch between Cleveland and Southeastern. Cleveland won the game over Midfield tonight, 61-46. Again, the same deal going on with Woodland and Wadley. This is the same deal with Southeastern and Cleveland. 2 teams from the same region, doesn't matter. Cleveland automatically will be at home. This will be at Dixon Stadium in Cleveland next week. Cleveland, the number 7 team in the state, coming in now 10-2 in a rematch with Southeastern, as the Mustangs come in now with a mark of 8-4 in Class 2A action. The final game in North Alabama will be a rematch of the North Alabama Championship Series from last year. And we're talking about Mars Hill Bible and Spring Garden. Mars Hill Bible beat Tanner tonight. That game was over in Florence at Mars Hill by a score of 47-20. Don't let the record fool you. Mars Hill Bible now moving to 9-3. However, their 3 losses were to 6A Jasper, 6A Coleman, 4A quarterfinalist American Christian. So that is a very deceiving record. Spring Garden tonight playing at home at Panther Stadium. Spring Garden continues to roll, now officially 12-0 on the year. They beat Aliceville 40-35 tonight. So Spring Garden, number 5 team in the last ASWA poll. Mars Hill Bible was number 4. They'll do it again. They played last year in Florence. Spring Garden makes the long trip over to Florence to take on Mars Hill Bible again in the Class 2A quarterfinals next Friday night. We need to tell you about the fine folks at Red Threads. Red Threads on the square in Jacksonville. They have a great storefront powered by O-Brand. And go by anytime you're in Jacksonville. They have a great storefront. They have great game day apparel. Anything you want and some very unique items for Jacksonville State. They have memorabilia in the store. You'll love going in the store. You can also visit them online. They specialize in screen printing and custom apparel. But really go to the store. It's right there on the square in Jacksonville. Red Threads, your place for JSU game day apparel. We come back, more of the high school football Alabama scoreboard as we roll toward midnight, streaming live on Facebook and YouTube and on the Big 95.
Hi, this is Jimmy Newman from Oxford Lumber. I've kicked off many times in my football days, and that's an exciting play. When you're ready to kick off your next building or remodeling project, let us make sure you start your project off right, with the right material at the right price so you can score big and get the job done. Stop by and see our local guys with over 60 years of experience serving you. Come by any one of our 4 locations in Oxford, Talladega, Jacksonville, or Roanoke. And don't forget about our low price guarantee.
When it comes to great tasting barbecue, nobody does it better than Dad's Barbecue. Dad's Barbecue is slow cooked to perfection, and Dad's menu now includes burgers, shakes, and delicious cheddar muffins. Large groups are always welcome, and Dad's does catering too. And Dad's offers fast, friendly service, and they're kid-friendly. Dine in or drive-through. Dad's Barbecue, family owned since 1985, with 2 locations in Anniston to serve you.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at peeweeturnermotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
Cash back. Plain and simple. That's what you'll get on the Noble Bank Cash Back account. No tricks, no gimmicky names, just free accounts that pay you cash back. If unlimited transactions, fraud protection, and refunds on ATM withdrawal fees nationwide sounds like your kind of banking, visit us at noblebank.com and learn more about the Noble Cashback account. Welcome to personal banking. Welcome to Noble Bank and Trust. noblebank.com, member FDIC.
So the Gospel of John is the only New Testament book that is specifically written to unbelievers. In chapter 20, we discover the reason John wrote this gospel, because chapter 20 tells the beautiful story of the resurrection of Christ. The last verse goes like this: "These things are written that you might believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that by believing you might have life through his name." Do you have life in Christ? You see, it comes by faith in the person and work of Jesus Christ, the Son of God. And it is by faith in him that we have life in his name. The most important decision you and I could ever make is to trust Jesus Christ to be our Lord and Savior. You see, it's not a question of if, but it's a question of when. Because the Bible says every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. I urge you to do that on this side of eternity. Take God at his word, believe, trust Christ, and then watch his purpose begin to unfold in you.
We are back on the high school football Alabama scoreboard presented by the City of Oxford. Time for our Red Threads highlights. We were out in a number of locations tonight across East Alabama. Our first stop tonight was Alexandria. The Alexandria Valley Cubs tonight taking on the Parker Thundering Herd in 5A second round action. We begin with Antonio Ross taking off right here for a 26-yard run deep into Parker territory early in the first quarter. 4th and 8 at the Parker 33. Austin West looking out here in the flat for Javez McGee and does not find him. It's an incomplete pass, and the ball goes over on downs to Parker. Parker then has a 4th and 1 themselves at the Alexandria 35, but Braxton Tucker and a host of Alexandria defenders with a stop. The Valley Cub faithful loving that out at Death Valley tonight. Then Alexandria, a 4th and 1 at their own 46. McGee with a 1-yard run for the first down. Then watch this beautiful pass here. Watch this run. Ross, a 39-yard run right out of bounds in front of you right here. And then on the very next play, this is McGee with a 14-yard touchdown run, beating the Parker defenders to the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Alexandria leading Parker 7-0. Here's one of the beautiful passes you'll see all year long, and this is McGee with a 46-yard pass. Evante Davis. Then at the end of this, Parker is called for a penalty, a 15-yard unnecessary roughness. Then Ross with a 1-yard touchdown run. The PAT was good. Alexandria led at 14-0. They went on to build that lead to 17-6, but Parker comes back and they beat Alexandria tonight. A big upset at Death Valley as number 3 Alexandria loses their first game tonight to Parker out at Lou Scales Stadium, 41-34. Alexandria and Parker in our Red Thread highlights tonight. Well, we've got more brackets coming up. We've taken you through classes 1A and 2A. Now let's bump up to the mid-size schools, if you will, classes 3A and 4A. We'll give you the brackets, every score in the state, and all the matchups for next week. We talked about the longest trip between Viger coming to Cherokee County tonight. The shortest trip, Montgomery Academy and Trinity Presbyterian, maybe 2 miles apart. Trinity and Montgomery going just right down the road to Montgomery Academy. Montgomery Academy wins the game 21-17 is the final. Montgomery Academy takes their record to 9-3, not ranked in the final ASWA poll. They will get T.R. Miller. T.R. Miller at home tonight at Bruton Municipal Stadium, beating Mike Dubose and the Op Bobcats by a score of 35-14. So a great matchup next week. T.R. Miller will be traveling to Montgomery to face Montgomery Academy. T.R. Miller, number 6 in the final ASWA poll. They are 10-2. Montgomery Academy at 9-3. The team that was in the state championship game last year out of the South was Montgomery Catholic. They have been number 1 for a few weeks now, and they are looking like the number 1 team in 3A. They roll over Bayside Academy tonight down in Daphne. They made the long road trip from Montgomery to Daphne. They won the game 31-0. Montgomery Catholic now 12-0 and the number 1 team in the last ASWA poll. They will find Hillcrest of Evergreen. Actually, they'll find Slocum waiting for Hillcrest. We got that reverse there. They got Slocum winning, but Hillcrest Evergreen won the game over Slocum 39-37. So next week, Hillcrest Evergreen will make the trip up I-65 to Montgomery to take on Montgomery Catholic, as Hillcrest Evergreen, another kind of one of those Cinderella teams. They were 5-5 going into the playoffs. They beat Thomasville, then they beat Slocum tonight, and they are now 7-5, as we will see next week, unranked Hillcrest Evergreen playing at Montgomery Catholic in the quarterfinals in the South. In the North, Fife on the road in Bluntsville to take on J.B. Pennington. The Red Devils, the defending state champions, having no problem with the Tigers, winning 43-14 tonight. Fife, the number 2 team in the last ASWA poll. They are now 10-1. They'll be back at home at Paul Benefield Stadium next week, hosting the Sacs Wildcats. Sacs winning tonight 36-22 at home at Jack Stewart Field in Anniston as they beat the Oakman Wildcats tonight. We'll have highlights of that game coming up a little bit later on as our cameras were out there this evening. Sacs now moves to 11-1. They were number 5 in the last ASWA poll. So Sacs goes to Fife next week. This is one of the matchups that we thought we might see, a top 5 matchup. Number 5 Sacs, number 2 Fife playing each other next week at Paul Benefield Stadium at 5 in the Class 3A quarterfinals. Also next week, Piedmont and Winfield. Piedmont tonight at home at the Field of Champions, having no problem with Lauderdale County. Lauderdale County came into this game 10-1, ranked number 7. Piedmont, the number 4 team in the last ASWA poll. They are 10-2 now. They roll over Lauderdale County 31-0. They will get Winfield. Winfield last year beat Ohatchee 54-27 on the Creek Bank. Tonight, Ohatchee goes to Winfield over in Marion County, and Winfield returns the favor plus some as Winfield beats Ohatchee tonight 56-27. A monster matchup next week at the Field of Champions in Piedmont. Winfield, number 3 team in the state in Class 3A, 12-0, taking on number 4 Piedmont at 10-2. That will be at the Field of Champions in Piedmont next Friday night in the Class 3A quarterfinals. We move to Class 4A. American Christian beating Jacksonville 49-35 was the final score in that game as American Christian wins it. And then Viger comes all the way to center, as we talked about earlier with Corey LaBounty. Viger, the number 3 team in the state in Class 4A, beating a really sound Cherokee County team tonight in center, 34-0. So next week, what a matchup coming up. Number 2 American Christian, number 3 Viger. The game will be in Pritchard at Pritchard Stadium. American Christian coming in with a mark of 11-1 now, taking on an 11-1 Viger team. Should be a great matchup in the quarterfinals in the 4A South. We come northward further and staying in the South, though. Handley tonight wins at home in Roanoke over Bibb County as Handley improves to 9-2. They beat Bibb County tonight down in Roanoke 28-14. They will get Jackson. Jackson comes in and upends St. James, the team that beat Anniston last week. That game was in Montgomery tonight. The Jackson Aggies beating St. James of Montgomery tonight 45-33. So Jackson, the number 9 team in the last ASWA poll, they will be at home next week as they will be hosting the Handley Tigers. Handley makes the long trip to Southwest Alabama to take on the Jackson Aggies. Handley 9-2, the defending Class 4A state champion, ranked number 7 in the last ASWA poll. In Class 4A in the North, number 1 ranked Madison Academy tonight, having no problem with Priceville. They beat the Bulldogs 35-7. And next week it will be Good Hope. The Raiders went in and upended Northside. Good Hope wins in Samantha tonight 35-21. So next week it will be Good Hope at home in Coleman County, playing host to Madison Academy, the number 1 team in the state. Good Hope 9-3 but unranked as the Mustangs make their way down I-65 to Good Hope to take on the Raiders. The final game in Class 4A in the North, Brooks tonight of Killen. They are 12-0, the number 5 team in the last poll. They beat Randolph of Huntsville at home tonight, 42-21. They'll get Aniana. Last year, Gordo came to Gilbert Stadium in Aniana. They beat the Redskins en route to the state championship game. Tonight, Aniana gets a measure of revenge. Aniana wins over Gordo 36-26 was the final in that game tonight. Aniana now moves to 11-1. Their only loss early in the season to the Etowah Blue Devils over at Jim Glover Field in Attala. Next week, Aniana travels up to the Shoals area to Killen right outside of Florence to take on Brooks 12-0 versus 11-1. Back on the high school football Alabama scoreboard, Oxford Lumber and Ace Hardware bringing you our scoreboard every week. And I'll tell you, if you go to Oxford Lumber stores, and they have 4 of those in Oxford, obviously, Jacksonville, Talladega, and also down in Roanoke, this is what you're going to expect when you walk in those stores. You're going to be greeted and helped. You're going to be listened to and valued. You're going to get helpful advice from knowledgeable sales professionals. You will be told yes to just about everything. You'll get the latest, best quality products for your project. They'll get you in, they'll get you help, and they'll get you out with convenience. And a big thing here, they are going to get you the most value for your hard-earned money. Find people at Oxford Lumber and Ace Hardware. 4 locations in East Alabama: Oxford, Jacksonville, Talladega, and Roanoke. More of the high school football Alabama scoreboard as we roll on a football Friday night presented by the City of Oxford.
My dad taught me to fish right here years ago. But when an old sports injury started slowing him down, I knew we'd need to search for the latest procedures in knee and hip replacement. With physical therapy tailored to his needs, a dedicated team of doctors and nurses, and he'd want a fast recovery time. So where'd he find all that?
Right here at RMC.
Anniston Orthopedics continues to provide a legacy of outstanding sports injury care on and off the field, keeping our players in the game. Anniston Orthopedics offers our Saturday morning sports injury clinic from 8 to 10 a.m. throughout the high school football season. Anniston Orthopedics also offers full-service physical therapy and occupational therapy departments. To learn more, visit our website at www.annistonortho.com. Anniston Orthopedics, located in the Tyler Center adjacent to RMC.
I'm John Holder, host of the High School Football Alabama Scoreboard Show. Keller Williams real estate agent Amber Cotton sold my house, and I can tell you she's the best. But don't take just my word for it.
I'm Coach Michael Easley from Montford High School, and Amber Cotton sold my house.
I'm Coach Clint Smith from Jacksonville High School, and Amber Cotton sold my house.
This is Coach Jonathan Miller of the Sacs Wildcats, and Amber Cotton sold my house.
I'm Amber Cotton, and if you're in the market to sell a home in Calhoun County, I would love the privilege of meeting your real estate needs too.
This holiday season, visit Festival of Lights. Chocolaco Park in Oxford, Alabama is transformed into a winter wonderland and is the perfect way to get into the holiday spirit. Open November 20th through December 24th. To get your tickets, visit oxfordlights.com.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
The most informative prep football show in the state. It's the High School Football Alabama Scoreboard with John Holder, presented by the City of Oxford on the Big 95 and highschoolfootballalabama.com.
We are back on the High School Football Alabama Scoreboard, streaming live tonight on Facebook and YouTube at High School Football Alabama. Also tonight, broadcasting live on the Big 95, 95.3 FM. And also in Gadsden on WHMA 97.5 FM as well. And we're with you all the way until 12 midnight tonight. More brackets, lots still to cover. We're going to be joined right now by a very special guest. He is the Director of Communication for the Alabama High School Athletic Association. Ron Ingram joins us tonight live from Montgomery. And this is a guy, if you're not familiar with Ron Ingram, this is a guy who knows not only high school football, and he knows that very well, but all high school sports. No better person to talk high school football with than Ron Ingram and to talk about the Alabama High School Athletic Association state football playoffs. Ron, a friend for a long time. And Ron, glad to have you with us. Welcome into the High School Football Alabama Scoreboard.
I'm glad to be with you, John.
Ron, I think, I have to be biased here. I'm a football guy. Growing up in this state, I love high school football. And the greatest part of high school football to me is the high school football playoffs, and especially the second round and quarterfinals, because, Ron, this is where we see the surprises, and tonight was no exception. We saw some great games across the state, and we saw some surprises as well.
Well, we did, but, it's also the round where really most of the teams that are supposed to win. And what I mean by that is I was just looking just in 1A, for instance, in Class 1A, the 8 teams that have advanced, and I hadn't totaled it up for everybody, I hadn't had time, but 7 of the 8 teams that have advanced to the third round of the quarterfinals are number 1 seeds. In 2A, it's 4, but now the 8th team that is advanced in Class 1A is a number 4 seed. That's Woodland, and they'll be going against Watley, a team that from their own region, so they'll have to travel again. But 7 of the 8, and then I think it's 6 in Class 3A that were number 1 seeds. 5 were number 1 seeds. So that's as far as I've gotten so far. And of course in 7A, it's no surprise. I think we could have most everybody would have predicted the 4 teams still playing are the teams that we thought would be playing when the season started.
Ron, I really love these teams. You mentioned one of those, but we got 2 or 3 teams out there that have kind of surprised folks, just to be honest with you. Teams like Woodland, 3-7 coming to the playoffs. Teams like Highland Home, the run that they have been on right now. Even Faith Academy didn't have that sparkling record. We're seeing all of these teams that kind of came in maybe with a 5-5, a 3-7 record, something like that are making some big noise. But I guess the 2 that stand out to me are Woodland and Highland Home, because they've just had some monster wins these last 2 weeks.
I know it. And, I'll be honest with you, when I saw, no offense to Highland Home, but I know how strong Elba is. When I saw that score, I thought, can that be backwards? Because every now and then, especially some of those folks that are using the automated scoring system on their scoreboard, if they do it opposite of what is normal, sometimes, Crafton Bow's a good example of that. Last year, Jeff Davis only won, I think, 1 game all year. But according to the scores that were reported, because they always lined up on the opposite side of where the most home teams are, the score was automatically reported as them winning. And I thought, is this right? But then, but we checked. Sure enough, it was right, 32-0. We had 8 shutouts tonight. Now that's a lot of shutouts, for the second round. But we also had 3 games that had over 100 points scored in it. And I'm checking right now as we talk. I think that the game, the Decatur Heritage game, it actually, the Decatur Heritage game, it actually was the most points ever scored in a playoff game tonight, 136. I'm just checking one thing with
wondered
Parrish.
about that. That was crossed my mind. That's in our backyard. They played the game just down the road at Raglan there. 76-60. Wow.
And one kid, based on what was sent to us, scored 11 touchdowns. The quarterback scored 11 touchdowns, and also must have had a 2-point conversion because he said he had that he scored 68 points in the game. You know, of course, the sports writers not always the best mathematicians, but that would be 11 touchdowns and then a 2-point conversion if that's the case. Now, I don't have official stats on that, but that's what we were told, and that's an amazing. I mean, that kid, the Braden Kyle, the quarterback at Decatur Heritage, has had a couple of games this year where he had 250 yards passing and over 200 rushing, and he's done it pretty much consistently, you know, the whole time, you know. So I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't accurate. You know, it is accurate, and I'm pretty sure that is an accurate total. But that meant that he had a lot of rushing touchdowns tonight. That would have been 11.
Ron, would that, just off the top of your head, would that be a record, 11 touchdowns in the game?
Yeah, I think 11 touchdowns in the game is I think, a record. But I just checked. The only game that had more points in it, that's had more points in it, you know, total, was the Hubbardsville and Parrish game in 2003. It was 81-58, and that was 139 points. That was not a playoff game.
Yes.
That was a regular season game. And then there was one with Childersburg had 136, I think, total this number, and it was Childersburg and Coosa Central, and that was not a playoff game. So based on that information, I would say this was the most points ever scored in a high school playoff game in Alabama.
Absolutely. Ron, I want to talk about the high school playoffs because I don't think I think we kind of take things for granted here in Alabama. Right. I don't think, Ron, that there's anybody in America that does the high school football playoffs from the first round all the way to our Super 7 events. I don't think anybody in America does it like we do it here in Alabama, and I mean the best. I think we have the best playoffs of anybody in America.
I think we do too. You know, just in Georgia, if they're still doing it the way I understood, they used to do it. They would seed. They always have this big to do about seeding their teams. They have 32 teams in the playoff round, but they would seed them 1 through 32, and one would play number 32, and then after each week they would reseed, and the higher seed would be the host team. But in ours, we try to be as fair as possible. The first round, the number 1 and 2 seeds are hosts. They play a number 3 and a number 4, so technically the higher seed hosts the game. Number 1's going to play a 4, so they're going to host the game, and number 2's going to play a 3. And when I say a seed, each region has 4 teams to qualify, and they're either going to be place 1, place 2, place 3, or place 4, or seed 1, seed 2, seed 3, and seed 4. And that's based on regular season region record, unless there's a tie, and then the tiebreakers establish that. Like in the situation with Piedmont, Sacs, and Ohatchee, we had to go to I think tiebreaker L to finish that, and it ended up with Sacs being the number 1 seed, and Ohatchee 2, I believe it was, and Piedmont was 3, and so they traveled the first round. Fife, on the other hand, the defending state champion in 3A, they were in a 3-way tie with Sylvania and Geraldine, and they got the top seed out of all that. So I believe that's the way it worked, and so they're a top seed. But after the first round, it's based on travel. The team that had to travel the most in the first round would host the second round, or if they've traveled the same amount, it would be based on the higher seed. And in most cases, though, the only way that a team would host the second round is if it was a 3 or a 4 seed playing, a 1 or a 2 seed. You know, sometimes we had one, like Woodland, for instance, they won the first round as a 4 seed, but they ended up in the second round this week, tonight, they were playing a 3 seed that also had an upset, and they were on the bottom part of the bracket. Woodland was, so they had to travel again. But to make it, the next caveat is if 2 teams from the same region play each other in the playoffs, the higher seed gets the win. That's why it's so important to win the tiebreakers if you get tied, because the seed is determined in the tiebreaker. So Woodland is going to have to go to Wadley because Wadley was the number 1 seed, and Woodland was number 4 seed in that region. So now they're going to travel for the 3rd straight time. Now, if they win that game, as long as they're not playing another team in their region, they would certainly get to host a much, that important semifinal game coming down, in 2 weeks if they get that far. But wow, it gives everyone a chance based on the criteria that our football coaches committee recommended and the Central Board's championship play committee approved and so forth. It gives everyone a chance to try to have as fair a level playing field as possible, but it also doesn't throw out the window what you did in the regular season as far as winning in your region. It's really important to win your region games so you can get the highest seed possible moving into the playoffs against other region teams.
Ron, before we let you get out of here and get on with your evening, I know you're very busy tonight. Want to just talk about, you were for many years the prep sports editor at the Birmingham News. So I think it's special to you to see the Super 7 come back to Birmingham in this new stadium, protective stadium in Birmingham, coming into the rotation with Tuscaloosa and with Auburn. Right. Just tell us about the Super 7 returning to Birmingham.
Well, I'll tell you this, John. Today we met our staff, a lot of members of our staff. Jeff Seegers, he's oversees football. Myself, Brandon Dean, our director of our Coaches Association. Mr. Briggs, our executive director. Jamie Lee, our director of championship events, and then our associate executive director Kim Vickers. We all went to Protective Stadium today and met, and we had our annual walkthrough where we go through all the emergency action plans, all of the plans that we have moving into the Super 7, which is really less than 30 days away. And I was so blown away by Protective Stadium. It's going to be a beautiful place for our kids to play. The seat it seats about 40,000, but the lower section seats about 28,000. And if we get all our fans in the lower section, it's going to really look like a big time game with the crowd. Nothing against Auburn and Alabama, because our kids love going there. But when you get our fans in 100,000 seat stadium, it doesn't. You may not, from an outside view, you may not can appreciate how many people are there. But I think people are going to love. The teams are going to love it because it's got a really close-in atmosphere, sort of like Auburn's basketball arena now that it's almost leaning over on the field. It's a beautiful place. I think our kids are going to love playing there, and our fans are going to love going there. And I know for us, it's good to come back to Birmingham because Birmingham is a really good football city, not college and pro, not just that, but they've always loved our high schools. And our first big game, what led us to where we are now, is the work of the Montgomery Quarterback Club many years ago, and working in cooperation with Mr. Washburn and the Central Board back in the mid-'90s. But even before that, they hosted the 4A game starting in 71 and hosted that game, made it special at Legion Field. But now Mr. Washburn said, listen, we're going to do them all if we're going to do them. And that's really what happened. And now we have the Super 7 because we have 7 classes. This year, too, a big thing, John, is we're going to start off on Wednesday afternoon with our very first girls flag football tournament championship. It's a sport. It's a new sport we just installed this year, and they have a tournament, and we have our semifinals this coming Tuesday. I believe it's the 4 teams are Smith Station, John Carroll, Oxford, and Hewitt Trussville that'll be playing in the semifinals, and those 2 will play at 3 o'clock on that Wednesday, and then our 7-8 finalists will play that night in the boys' game.
Ron, thank you so much for being with us and spending time with us here on this Football Friday night. Looking forward to seeing you as we move through the state championships and get to the Super 7 in Birmingham. Thank you so much for spending time with us from Montgomery tonight.
Thank you, John. And I know you, like I am, what you love to see is that kid that nobody's ever heard of that just comes up and does something phenomenal along the way. And we're going to see this all through the playoffs the rest of the year, and we'll see it in the Super 7 too. And boy, it keeps me young. I'm 69 years old right now, but I feel like I'm 35 right now until I try to get up in the morning and my bones tell me something else.
Amen. Ron, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you in a few weeks.
Okay, we'll see.
Ron Ingram, Director of Communication for the Alabama High School Athletic Association, joining us here on the High School Football Alabama Scoreboard. Tomorrow morning, speaking of early in the morning at 8 o'clock, Anniston Orthopedics. Anniston Orthopedics has their third floor Tyler Center Saturday morning sports injury clinic, 8 a.m. every Saturday. Call them at 236-4121. Dedicated to what moves you, Anniston Orthopedics, their sports clinic every Saturday morning, including tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., third floor of the Tyler Center in Anniston. More of the High School Football Alabama Scoreboard in just a moment.
When mealtime calls for the best farm-raised catfish, look no further than Top of the River. With 3 convenient locations, you're never far from the very best catfish East Alabama has to offer. The friendly folks at Top of the River are waiting to serve you the fish that owner Shannon Robertson says they've served exclusively for 25 years and to
I can have him next week, too.
Since 96, I've never served one other type of fish, ever, other than farm-raised catfish.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of J.D. Hess, Tim Hodges, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You will be glad you did.
The X-Mark Radius. This is the mower that cut the lawn where you watched your family explore. The Radius will get you on and off the lawn quickly with the signature cut, comfort, and reliability more landscape pros trust. X-Mark, official mowers of the backyard line. Get into a Radius as low as $93 per month with approved credit. Check them out today at Triple T Turf, 204 Anniston Street in Weaver. Open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, 8 to noon Saturday. And Triple T Turf is also your still dealer for outdoor power equipment.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at peeweeturnermotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
Cash back. Plain and simple. That's what you'll get on the Noble Bank Cash Back account. No tricks, no gimmicky names, just free accounts that pay you cash back. If unlimited transactions, fraud protection, and refunds on ATM withdrawal fees nationwide sounds like your kind of banking, visit us at noblebank.com and learn more about the Noble Cash Back account. Welcome to personal banking. Welcome to Noble Bank and Trust. noblebank.com. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Jimmy Newman from Oxford Lumber. I've kicked off many times in my football days, and that's an exciting play. When you're ready to kick off your next building or remodeling project, let us make sure you start your project off right, with the right material at the right price so you can score big and get the job done. Stop by and see our local guys with over 60 years of experience serving you. Come by any one of our 4 locations in Oxford, Talladega, Jacksonville, Roanoke. And don't forget about our low price guarantee.
The High School Football Alabama Scoreboard rolls on a football Friday night. John Holder, our entire HSFA crew with you all the way until probably past midnight tonight. We're going to run a little overtime. Right now, time for Red Threads highlights. We're going to take you to Jack Stewart Field at Sachs for the 3A second round game tonight between Sachs and Oakman. When we arrived, 22-14 Sachs. Didn't take long. Jalen McCants right here. Watch this run. A 10-yard run, bouncing off players. Probably the best 10-yard run we've seen all year long as he bounced through around 6 Oakman players. And then it's McCants on the receiving end. This is a dangerous football player. Catches the pass across the middle, spin move, and then outruns the Oakman secondary. 51 yards, the touchdown pass from Sean Parnell. And Sachs comes back with a 2-point conversion. And McCants is involved again, takes the end around, passes it to Sean Elston in the end zone. The 2-point is good. It's 30-14 Sachs. But Oakman battling back. This is going to be Caden Marchbanks A 37-yard pass from Baylor Odom. This was in traffic and showing some speed of his own right here as he races down the Sac sideline. They knock him out at the 19-yard line. A little bit later on the drive, a couple of plays later, Jai Henderson, a 7-yard touchdown pass right here in your living room from Odom. And then a 2-point conversion pass coming. Same connection. Henderson from Odom for the easy 2-point pass. Oatman cuts the lead to 30-22. Then we've got a bad snap by Sachs on special teams. Goes all the way over the head of the punter. He picks it up, and this was a key play in the game. Blocked from seeing what happened here, but there was a targeting call. You see the flag. That gave Sachs a first down. Parnell, watch this run right here. 18 yards, and he trucks over the Oatman defender, knocked out of bounds after an 18-yard run. Then Elston coming back over the middle, a 14-yard pass from Parnell. Guess who's coming next? It's McCants, a 25-yard pass from Parnell to the 8, and then Parnell with a 6-yard touchdown run. The 2-point conversion run by Parnell, no good this time. That was the final score of the game early in the fourth quarter as Sachs wins it 36-22. The number 5 ranked Wildcats 11-1, headed to 5 in the quarterfinals of the Class 3A state playoffs next week at Paul Benefield Stadium. Back to brackets now. We will go to our Dad's Barbecue and Top of the River brackets as we'll take a look now at classes 5A and 6A, beginning once again in the South. Andalusia beats Demopolis tonight 48-26. That game was played at Andalusia. Another surprise team. Not a great record coming in, but Andalusia rolls now into the quarterfinals. They will take on UMS Wright Prep. UMS winning tonight against Greenville. That was down in Mobile. And it will be Andalusia and UMS Wright next week. Andalusia coming in only at 8-4, unranked, taking on number 4 UMS Wright Prep, who now improves to 11-1. That game next week will be in the heart of South Alabama at Andalusia. Also in the South, Corey LaBounty telling us all about the Faith Academy 40-33 win tonight in Mobile against Central Clay County. Pike Road, the number 1 team in the state, beat last year's state champion St. Paul's Episcopal tonight, 29-17 down in Montgomery County at Pike Road. Next week, great matchup. Pike Road hits the road for the first time as they will travel to Mobile to face Faith Academy. Pike Road now 11-0, ranked number 1. Faith Academy at 7-4, but that record is deceiving. They played a tough schedule. In the North, a lot of surprises here. Center Point beats Ramsey tonight 9-0 out at Center Point. Pleasant Grove shutting out Leeds 35-0. So next week it will be all Jefferson County matchup in this quarterfinal round game as Pleasant Grove will travel from West Jefferson County to East Jefferson County to take on the Center Point Eagles out in Center Point. And this is where we had a lot of surprises right here. Fairview comes in and beats number 9 Russellville at Russellville 35-21. And number 3 and undefeated Alexandria lost at Death Valley tonight to Parker 41-34. What about this quarterfinal round matchup? Fairview and Parker next week. That game will be up in Coleman County at Fairview. Parker 11-1, ranked number 7 in the last ASWA poll. Fairview also at 11-1. We move to Class 6A, take you to South Alabama, where Hillcrest of Tuscaloosa came into Bay Minette, beat Baldwin County tonight 28-22. They'll get Saraland. Saraland beat William Montgomery tonight 35-6. So next week it will be Saraland, number 6 in the final ASWA poll, 10-2. They will be traveling to Tuscaloosa to take on the Hillcrest Patriots, the number 10 team in the final 6A poll, as they are also at 10-2. A team that a lot of folks have not paid attention to, but they're turning heads now. The Hueytown Golden Gophers averaging over 50 points a game tonight. Hueytown on the road in Mobile beat McGill-Tulane 49-17. They will get Opelika. Opelika beating Spanish Fort tonight 28-14. Bit of a surprise there. Spanish Fort was the number 4 team in the state. So next week it will be Hueytown at home. Opelika comes to town. Hueytown, the number 7 team in the state. Hueytown comes in now with a mark of 11-1. Opelika now 9-3. In the North, good effort by Oxford tonight. They lose at Pinson Valley 20-0. Mountain Brook rolling over Jackson-Olin. So an all Jefferson County matchup next week. It will be Mountain Brook traveling to Willie Adams Stadium in Pinson to take on the Pinson Valley Indians. Pinson Valley, your defending state champion, beat Mountain Brook last year in the semifinals, and they'll rematch now in the quarterfinals next week out at Pinson. Also in the north, a rematch of a regular season game. Both of these teams out of Class 6A Region 6. Gardendale beating Homewood 35-27 tonight. Also, it was Clay Chalkville having no problem with a very good, this was a top 5 matchup. Number 1 Clay Chalkville and number 5 Briarwood. Clay Chalkville wins the game 56-21 was the final score. So next week, Clay Chalkville won handily in the regular season. They'll get a rematch next week out at Clay as they will be hosting the Gardendale Rockets. Gardendale at 10-2. Clay Chalkville, the number 1 team in the last ASWA poll. They are 12-0 as they welcome the Gardendale Rockets into Clay. Also, let's tell you about awards to remember. Our Tough Guy Trophy. We'll tell you a little bit later on about our Team of the Year. They're going to get a Tough Guy Trophy. Awards to remember located on Alabama Highway 144 in Ohatchee. They are the place to go for awards. They are one of the top 10 awards dealers anywhere in the entire Southeast. Go to awardstoRemember.com. Find out all the great things they have there, the trophies, the plaques, the medals, all types of awards. They specialize in school and athletic awards. Also a full line of screen printing on T-shirts, polos, any kind of textile. They have been in business for 39 years. Awards to remember, awardstoRemember.com. There's the Tough Guy Trophy. We'll be back with more of the High School Football Alabama Scoreboard in just a moment.
Aniston Orthopedics continues to provide a legacy of outstanding sports injury care on and off the field, keeping our players in the game. Aniston Orthopedics offers our Saturday morning sports injury clinic from 8 to 10 a.m. throughout the high school football season. Aniston Orthopedics also offers full-service physical therapy and occupational therapy departments. To learn more, visit our website at www.anistonortho.com. Aniston Orthopedics, located in the Tyler Center adjacent to RMC.
I'm John Holder, host of the High School Football Alabama Scoreboard Show. Keller Williams real estate agent Amber Cotton sold my house, and I can tell you she's the best. But don't take just my word for it.
I'm Coach Michael Easley from Montford High School, and Amber Cotton sold my house.
I'm Coach Clint Smith from Jacksonville High School, and Amber Cotton sold my house.
This is Coach Jonathan Miller of the Sachs Wildcats, and Amber Cotton sold my house.
I'm Amber Cotton, and if you're in the market to sell a home in Calhoun County, I would love the privilege of meeting your real estate needs too.
This holiday season, visit Festival of Lights, proudly brought to you by Alabama Power. Chocolaco Park in Oxford, Alabama is transformed into a winter wonderland and is the perfect way to get into the holiday spirit. Drive through the Twinkling Light Show, then stop and enter Santa's Village, sponsored by First Bank of Alabama, for delicious food, outdoor skating, and a visit with Santa. Come and see the wonder that is Festival of Lights. Open November 20th through December 24th, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. nightly. To get your tickets, visit oxfordlights.com.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
In Alabama, school spirit is in the air on Friday nights. At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're giving our customers the opportunity to show their school spirit every day with our new Spirit debit card. We've designed a unique card for every Calhoun County school that includes the school's logo. So every time you use the card, you're showing your school spirit. Come in and get your school spirit debit card today. We've got spirit at F&M Bank. Service, solutions, and strength. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
My dad taught me to fish right here years ago. But when an old sports injury started slowing him down, I knew we'd need to search for the latest procedures in knee and hip replacement, with physical therapy tailored to his needs, a dedicated team of doctors and nurses, and he'd want a fast recovery time. So where'd he find all that?
Right here at RMC.
The high school football Alabama scoreboard presented by the City of Oxford, rolling on to this football Friday night. Time to add 2 new members to our Young Oil Grub Mart Muscle team tonight. The first new member of our muscle team is Hayes Wiggins of the Westbrook Christian Warriors in Rainbow City. The offensive tackle was the top offensive lineman for Coach Drew Knowles' team in 2021. The 6'3", 260-pound senior graded out this season at 94% on assignment, 82% in execution, and tallied 17 pancake blocks. Also an outstanding baseball player, Hayes Wiggins of the Westbrook Christian Warriors. Welcome aboard our Young Oil Grub Mart Muscle team for 2021. Also added to the team is Dakota Roberts of the Pleasant Valley Raiders, a starting end on defense, the starting tight end on offense. Pleasant Valley head coach Jonathan Nix says the 6'1", 240-pound junior was the Raiders' most consistent offensive and defensive lineman in the 2021 season. Dakota Roberts of Pleasant Valley, our newest member of the Young Oil Grub Mart Muscle team, our big offensive and defensive lineman. Now, time to tell you about our Farmers and Merchants Bank Player of the Week from last week. You saw a lot of him tonight in our Red Threads highlights. Sean Parnell of the Sacs Wildcats last week in their big win that they had at home against Plainview. He completed 6 of 14 passes, 222 yards, 3 touchdowns, rushed for 95 yards, and another touchdown in the Wildcats' 46-43 first-round win over the Bears. Touchdown passes covered 38-65 in the game-winning 88-yard touchdown pass with 2:23 to go in the game. The touchdown run covered 16 yards. Parnell totaled 317 yards of offense and also added 2 two-point conversions. Congratulations to Sean Parnell of Sacs, this week's Farmers and Merchants Bank Player of the Week. One more bracket to look at, and that is Class 7A. They basically played their quarterfinals tonight. Not as many teams, so they only have 4 rounds instead of 5. So we'll go back to our Dad's Barbecue top of the river brackets, and we will tell you that Central of Phoenix City tonight rolled over Theodore. They knocked them out last year. They knock out Theodore again. 63-27 was the final score tonight in that game at Garrett Harris Stadium in Phoenix City tonight. Also, in a rematch of a regular season game, same result, Auburn beats Enterprise, the game at Auburn. Auburn rolling over Enterprise 56-21. So a rematch of a regular season game in 7A Region 2. Next week, Auburn comes to Central Phoenix City. Central won the first time 21-7. The rematch next week for the South Alabama Championship in Class 7A. In the North, no surprises here. Thompson beats Oak Mountain for the second time this year, 45-7. And Hewitt, Trussville, and Hoover, this was a tough one. Hoover just gets past Hewitt Trussville tonight, 24-23. So next week we've got in the South, number 3 Central of Phoenix City, now 12-0, and number 4 Auburn at 10-2. And in the North, we're going to have Thompson and Hoover. You know, Hoover upset Thompson just a couple of weeks ago in the regular season to win the region title. Now Hoover 12-0, ranked number 1 against 11-1 Thompson. Their only loss to Hoover. That game will be at Hoover as Hoover won the game in the regular season. And let's talk about the folks at RMC. RMC's got a special deal coming up I'm going to tell you about right here. They have got mammograms, one of free mammograms that they are giving out in sponsorship with Eastman, Regional Medical Center Foundation and Eastman, coming together to give out 50 free mammograms. If you're a lady out there and you need that, 235-5141. That's 235-5145. The Regional Medical Center Foundation partnering with Eastman to do that. Early detection saves lives, and that's courtesy of Eastman and Regional Medical Center. Regional Medical Center, of course, bringing you our RMC Media Center right here every Friday night from Parker Memorial Baptist Church on Quintard Avenue in Midtown Anniston. More of the High School Football Alabama Scoreboard in just a moment.
You're watching High School Football Alabama Scoreboard.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at peeweeturnermotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
Cash back. Plain and simple. That's what you'll get on the Noble Bank Cash Back account. No tricks, no gimmicky names, just free accounts that pay you cash back. If unlimited transactions, fraud protection, and refunds on ATM withdrawal fees nationwide sounds like your kind of banking, visit us at noblebank.com and learn more about the Noble Cashback account. Welcome to personal banking. Welcome to Noble Bank and Trust. Noblebank.com. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Jimmy Newman from Oxford Lumber. I've kicked off many times in my football days, and that's an exciting play. When you're ready to kick off your next building or remodeling project, let us make sure you start your project off right, with the right material at the right price so you can score big and get the job done. Stop by and see our local guys with over 60 years of experience serving you. Come by any one of our 4 locations in Oxford, Talladega, Jacksonville, or Roanoke. And don't forget about our low price guarantee.
When it comes to great tasting barbecue, nobody does it better than Dad's Barbecue. Dad's Barbecue is slow cooked to perfection, and Dad's menu now includes burgers, shakes, and delicious cheddar muffins. Large groups are always welcome, and Dad's does catering too. And Dad's offers fast, friendly service, and they're kid-friendly. Dine in or drive through. Dad's Barbecue, family owned since 1985, with 2 locations in Anniston to serve you.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of J.D. Hess, Tim Hodges, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You will be glad you did.
The Exmark Quest. This is the mower that cuts the lawn that became the place your kids grew up. The Exmark Quest. The cut, quality, and performance more landscape pros trust at a price you can afford. Exmark. Official mowers of the backyard life. Get into a Quest as low as $62 per month with approved credit. Come check them out today at Triple T Turf, 204 Anniston Street in Weaver. Open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, 8 to noon Saturday. And Triple T Turf is also your still dealer for outdoor power equipment.
WHMA FM, Hobson City, Anniston, Oxford, WKLS HD3, Southside, and W248CE, 97.5 FM, Gadsden. HighSchoolFootballAlabama.com, the Big 95 WHMA and 97.5 FM are proud to be the home of the High School Football Alabama Scoreboard with John Holder, presented by the City of Oxford.
The High School Football Alabama Scoreboard is also brought to you by Young Oil Company Grub Marts, Farmers and Merchants Bank, Regional Medical Center, Anniston Orthopedics Associates, Keller Williams Real Estate Agent Amber Cotton, Pee Wee Turner Motors, Noble Bank and Trust, Oxford Lumber Company, Dad's Barbecue and Top of the River, the Calhoun County Commission, and Triple T Turf.
The High School Football Alabama Scoreboard with John Holder, presented by the City of Oxford on 97.5 FM, the Big 95 WHMA, and highschoolfootballalabama.com.
As we approach the midnight hour here on the High School Football Alabama Scoreboard presented by the City of Oxford, let's take you one more time through all of the scores tonight in our Oxford Lumber and Ace Hardware scoreboard as we give you all the finals involving teams here in East Alabama. Piedmont a winner over Lauderdale County, 31-0 tonight to advance to the quarterfinals. Pinson Valley ends Oxford's season 20-0 tonight at Pinson. Out at Jack Stewart Field at Sachs, it was Sachs beating Oatman 36-22. They advance to the 3A quarters. Ohatchee's season ends tonight. They lose to Winfield 56-27. Alexandria's season also ends tonight. They were upset by Parker tonight out at Death Valley 41-34. Another team from Calhoun County whose season ended tonight was Jacksonville. They lose to number 2 American Christian in Tuscaloosa 49-35. A team whose season did not end tonight in East Alabama, Woodland, on the road winning at Meek 21-14. Big night for Randolph County teams. Hanley also won at home against Bibb County 28-14, and Wadley won tonight at home against Hubbardville 28-14. The season ends for Central of Clay County. They lost at Faith Academy in Mobile tonight, 40-35. The season also continues for BB Comer. They continue to roll. They won at Isabella, 34-25. Winterboro loses to Pickens County tonight at Reform, ending the season for the Bulldogs as Pickens County wins 38-16. A wild game tonight. You heard Ron Ingram talking about it. We think this is the highest scoring game in playoff history in Alabama. Decatur Heritage winning at Ragland tonight, 76-60. Also tonight, another team whose season came to an end locally, Cherokee County. They lost to Viger tonight at home in Center. That was 34-0. And Spring Garden, still alive. They moved to the quarterfinals and rematch with Mars Hill Bible. They win tonight at home against Aliceville, 40-35. If you're looking for a used car, a fine used car, let me just tell you, I know sometimes you kind of dread that. You kind of dread the going through the process. You will love the process at Pee Wee Turner Motors on South Quintard Avenue in Anniston. Check out peeweeturnermotors.net, pick out their large inventory, find something you like, and then go down and see Lance and Tara. They're going to take great care of you. Fine people at Pee Wee Turner Motors, South Quintard Avenue in Anniston, 237-4649. Beautiful day tomorrow. Go out and check them out with their great inventory of quality used cars at Pee Wee Turner Motors, South Quintard Avenue in Anniston. We'll be back with more of all of the scores in the state of Alabama as we roll on this football Friday night.
You're the Piedmont Bulldogs, and you're watching the High School Football Alabama Scoreboard. Let's go!
I'm John Holder, host of the High School Football Alabama Scoreboard Show. Keller Williams real estate agent Amber Cotton sold my house, and I can tell you she's the best. But don't take just my word for it.
I'm Coach Michael Easley from Montford High School, and Amber Cotton sold my house.
I'm Coach Clint Smith from Jacksonville High School, and Amber Cotton sold my house.
This is Coach Jonathan Miller of the Sacs Wildcats, and Amber Cotton sold my house.
I'm Amber Cotton, and if you're in the market to sell a home in Calhoun County, I would love the privilege of meeting your real estate needs too.
This holiday season, visit Festival of Lights, proudly brought to you by Alabama Power. Chocolaco Park in Oxford, Alabama is transformed into a winter wonderland and is the perfect way to get into the holiday spirit. Drive through the Twinkling Light Show, then stop and enter Santa's Village, sponsored by First Bank of Alabama, for delicious food, outdoor skating, and a visit with Santa. Come and see the wonder that is Festival of Lights. Open November 20th through December 24th, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. nightly. To get your tickets, visit oxfordlights.com.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver Card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
In Alabama, school spirit is in the air on Friday nights. At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're giving our customers the opportunity to show their school spirit every day with our new Spirit debit card. We've designed a unique card for every Calhoun County school that includes the school's logo. So every time you use the card, you're showing your school spirit. Come in and get your school spirit debit card today. We've got spirit at F&M Bank. Service, solutions, and strength. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
I can't imagine life without Gwen, but we came dangerously close.
I was having chest pains.
Luckily, there was a hospital nearby that quickly discovered one of her arteries was 100% blocked. A hospital with life-saving technology and the latest in cardiac treatment, with an experienced team of doctors and nurses focused on fixing Gwen's heart. What hospital had all of that?
It was all right here at RMC.
Anniston Orthopedics continues to provide a legacy of outstanding sports injury care on and off the field, keeping our players in the game. Anniston Orthopedics offers our Saturday morning sports injury clinic from 8 to 10 a.m. throughout the high school football season. Anniston Orthopedics also offers full-service physical therapy and occupational therapy departments. To learn more, visit our website at www.annistonortho.com. Anniston Orthopedics, located in the Tyler Center adjacent to RMC.
Just past midnight on this football Friday night. I know we got a lot of people traveling and a lot of folks listening to us as they're coming back. We're keeping folks company, probably keeping people awake as they drive from places like maybe Russellville and places like that. Facebook, YouTube, this is the place. If you're going to be traveling next week for high school football, next Friday night we'll have our last show. Go to High School Football Alabama on Facebook and YouTube. If you're here locally, listen to us on the Big 95, 95.3. And we will keep you company and keep you going and give you all the high school football information like we're about to do right now. We're going to give you all of the scores in the state of Alabama, all of the brackets, classes 1A through 7A. So let's get started in Class 1A. Keith beating Otisauga 19-2. Brantley over Milry 48-15. Next week, it will be Brantley traveling to Orrville to take on the Keith Bears. In the quarterfinals in the 1A South, the great matchup, number 2 versus number 3. Maplesville beat Linden 22-15. Sweetwater over Kinston 54-7. Next week, Sweetwater at Maplesville. In the North in 1A next week, it will be Woodland and Wadley. Woodland beat Meek tonight 21-14. Wadley over Hubbardsville 28-14. Woodland travels to Wadley, an all Randolph County matchup next Friday night. Finally, in the North, Decatur Heritage beat Ragland. Yes, that is correct. 76-60. Pickens County knocks off Winneboro 38-16. Next week, Pickens County goes to Morgan County to take on Decatur Heritage. In Class 2A, it was B.B. Comer beating Isabella 34-25. Clark County upending Ariton 27-20. Next week, Clark County comes to Legion Stadium in Sylacauga to face the B.B. Comer Tigers. Also in the 2A South, Lynette shut out Luverne 33-0. Highland Home shut out Elba tonight 32-0. Next week, Lynette travels into Highland Home to take on the Flying Squadron. In the North, Southeastern beats Sulligent 37-18. Midfield outscores, or I should say Cleveland outscored Midfield 61-46. Next week, a rematch of a regular season game, Southeastern traveling to Cleveland. Also in the 2A North, Mars Hill Bible beat Tanner 47-20. Spring Garden beat Aliceville 40-35. Next week, a rematch of last year's 2A semifinal game. It will be Spring Garden traveling to Florence to take on Mars Hill Bible. In Class 3A, in the South, Montgomery Academy gets past Trinity Presbyterian 21-17. T.R. Miller over Opp 35-14. Next week, T.R. Miller travels to Montgomery to take on Montgomery Academy. Also in the South, Montgomery Catholic beat Bayside Academy 31-0. Hillcrest Evergreen 39-37 winners over Slocum. Next week, Hillcrest Evergreen also comes to Montgomery to face Montgomery Catholic. In the 3A North tonight, a great game as we take a look at the games in the 3A North. Fife beat J.B. Pennington 43-14. Sachs gets past Oakman 36-22. Next week, Sachs will travel to Paul Benefield Stadium in Fife to take on defending state champion, the Fife Red Devils. Also next Friday, Piedmont and Winfield. Great game. Piedmont tonight beat Lauderdale County 31-0. Winfield outscoring Ohatchee 56-27. Next week, Winfield travels to the Field of Champions in Piedmont to take on the Bulldogs. In Class 4A in the South, American Christian beats Jacksonville 49-35. Viger beat Cherokee County 34-0. Next week, it will be American Christian traveling to Mobile to face the Viger Wolves. Also in the South, tonight, Handley beat Bibb County 28-14. Jackson beating St. James 45-33. Next week, it will be Handley traveling from Roanoke to take on the Jackson Aggies at Jackson. In the North, Madison Academy beat Priceville 35-7. Good Hope over Northside 35-21. Next week, Madison Academy travels to Coleman County to face the Good Hope Raiders. In the 4A North, the final matchup will be Brooks and Aniana. Brooks over Randolph 42-21. Aniana knocks off Gordo 36-26. Next week, Aniana goes to Killen to face the Brooks Lions. In Class 5A in the South, Andalusia beat Demopolis 48-26. UMS Wright Prep gets by Greenville 14-12. Next week, UMS Wright comes to Andalusia. Also in the 5A South, it was Central of Clay County falling tonight to Faith Academy. Faith wins it 40-33. Pike Road beat St. Paul's Episcopal 29-17. Next week, number 1 Pike Road travels to Mobile. They will take on Faith Academy. In the 5A North, Center Point shutting out Ramsey 9-0. Pleasant Grove shutting out Leeds 35-0. Next week, all Jefferson County in this matchup, Pleasant Grove at Center Point. And some upsets in the other part of the bracket in the 4A, or I should say 5A North. Fairview upending Russellville 35-21. Alexandria falling tonight at home to Parker 41-34. Next week, Parker goes to Coleman County to face the Fairview Aggies. In Class 6A in the South, Hillcrest Tuscaloosa wins at Baldwin County 28-22. Saraland beats Leah Montgomery 35-6 tonight. Next week, Saraland goes to Tuscaloosa to take on Hillcrest. Also in the 6A South, Hueytown beats McGill-Tulane 49-17. Opelika upsetting Spanish Fort tonight 28-14. Next week, Opelika goes to Hueytown. In the 6A North, Pinson Valley shutting out Oxford 20-0. Mountain Brook rolling over Jackson Olin of Birmingham 45-14. Next week, another all Jefferson County matchup, Mountain Brook at Pinson Valley. And finally in 6A in the North, it was Homewood falling to Gardendale 35-27. Clay Chalkville, no problem with Briarwood Christian winning 56-21. Next week, a rematch of a regular season game. Gardendale travels to Clay Chalkville. And finally, in 7A, this was their quarterfinals tonight. Central of Phoenix City beat Theodore 63-27. Auburn put up big points as well as they beat Enterprise 56-21. Next week, Auburn at Central of Phoenix City for the South Alabama Championship of 7A. And in the North, we get another rematch. Thompson beat Oak Mountain 45-7. Hoover just gets past Hewitt-Trussville 24-23. Next week, Thompson at Hoover, rematch of the regular season game for the North Alabama Championship. And when we come back, we'll wrap up high school football Alabama for the second round of the playoffs, presented by the City of Oxford.
Cash back. Plain and simple. That's what you'll get on the Noble Bank Cash Back account. No tricks, no gimmicky names, just free accounts that pay you cash back. If unlimited transactions, fraud protection, and refunds on ATM withdrawal fees nationwide sounds like your kind of banking, visit us at noblebank.com and learn more about the Noble Cash Back account. Welcome to personal banking. Welcome to Noble Bank and Trust. noblebank.com, member FDIC.
Hi, this is Jimmy Newman from Oxford Lumber. I've kicked off many times in my football days, and that's an exciting play. When you're ready to kick off your next building or remodeling project, let us make sure you start your project off right, with the right material at the right price so you can score big and get the job done. Stop by and see our local guys with over 60 years of experience serving you. Come by any one of our 4 locations in Oxford, Talladega, Jacksonville, or Roanoke. And don't forget about our low price guarantee.
When mealtime calls for the best farm-raised catfish, look no further than Top of the River. With 3 convenient locations, you're never far from the very best catfish East Alabama has to offer. The friendly folks at Top of the River are waiting to serve you the fish that owner Shannon Robertson says they've served exclusively for 25 years and to perfection.
Since '96, I've never served one other type of fish, ever, other than farm-raised catfish.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at peeweeturnermotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
The best way to keep up with things with High School Football Alabama is on our social media pages. You can go to High School Football Alabama on Facebook. Look for High School Football Alabama. Also on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is High School Football Alabama. Also highschoolfootballalabama.com. And follow us, like us, subscribe to our YouTube channel, share it. Big thing to do. Make sure to share that with folks. Tell folks about High School Football Alabama. Join us back here next Friday night for our last show of the year. And speaking of going to our social media pages, you go to our Facebook page right now. The polls are open right now. You can vote for our City of Oxford Team of the Year. Our candidates are our 11 Teams of the Week from earlier in the year. That means Alexandria, Anniston, Cherokee County, Cleburne County, Gadsden City, Jacksonville, Ohatchee, Oxford, Piedmont, Spring Garden, and Weaver. Vote for one of our Teams of the Week as our Team of the Year. We'll have that announcement coming up next Friday night here on the High School Football Alabama Scoreboard Show. The polls are open right now. You just go to High School Football Alabama, go to that post, and like the helmet of the team that you want to vote as Team of the Year. And the polls will be open all the way until 12 noon next Friday. 12 noon next Friday, we'll have the winner, and they're going to get their own special version of our Tough Guy Trophy. And that's going to wrap up this week's edition of the High School Football Alabama Scoreboard, presented by the City of Oxford on a Football Friday night. You have a blessed weekend. We'll see you back here next Friday night.
The High School Football Alabama Scoreboard is a production of Fairfax Garden Media.